You're funny. Yes.
All right, we are live. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the session of the God of God podcast. You guys already know my name is Will. I'm the top Togo. I'm the host of the show, number one Polynesian podcast in the world. As you guys can see, we have some beautiful Bay Area baddies here tonight, and the fellas here. We have a great and we have a great show for you guys. So make sure you guys tap in, ladies. Cheers, fellas. Cheers. All right. How was it?
I like it. It's way better than alcohol.
It's not bad.
That's different.
Different?
That's different.
Yeah,
What
it
does it
is
taste like?
different.
It honestly, as soon as it tastes my tongue, I felt something. I felt something tingle.
Yeah.
No, it makes me feel good. Like
It
I
felt
can tell the
almost like a
difference.
relaxing feeling.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
It's like clarity.
All right, y'all. Cheers.
Cheers.
What are we arguing about?
A man is gonna do what a man wants to do.
VVS all on your wrist. Make you my wife, you no longer my bitch.
Let's get it. My name is Will. I'm the host of this show, the number one Polynesian podcast in the world.
Dripping in Versace. All these other hoes trying to copy.
Women tend to bounce around in relationships. They can't stick and stay in a long-term relationship.
Again, don't agree with this. Just
So let's say, are you still in it?
no. So you're basically saying I'm a whore.
This content is not suitable for the children under the age of 18 without adult supervision. Please be advised.
So I just wanted to take the time and make this video to apologize to absolutely nobody.
Love all the freaky things you do. My love was way overdue. That's when you came out the blue.
All right, what's up, everybody?
what's going on? What's going on?
Welcome back. Welcome to another session of the God of God podcast After Dark. You guys already know on Saturdays we like to talk about modern dating and relationships. As you guys can see, we have a beautiful guest, men and women here, ready to have a great discussion for you guys tonight. If you're watching, as always, thank you so much. Let's get that live chat popping. I see you guys already in the live chat. BO17, as always, thank you so much for always being the first one and showing support. Don't forget to like and subscribe, as always. And don't forget, this is a panel. It's based out of San Francisco. So if you're in the Bay Area, if you want to be part of the panel, definitely reach out to me to my email, willnacouzi@godofgodpodcast.com. You can definitely add on and be part of the podcast. But as always, I'm gonna pass it to the ladies and the guests. Give yourself a quick introduction, and we'll go right into it. Okay? We'll start right here.
My name is Gabby. I do real estate and leasing, and I'm single.
Okay, no worries. How old are you?
I'm 24.
24. All right. Thank you, Gabby. All right. Pass it to you, Katia. Go ahead.
My name is Katia. I am a dental assistant, and I'm single, and I'm 26.
All right. Thank you, Katia.
My name's Gina. I am a case manager and single, 27.
27, and the man, the myth, the legend himself.
It's your boy. My name is Danny. I work in sales. I do solar sales specifically, and I am taken long-term relationship.
Oh, hey, okay. All right.
Out for the count.
All right, no worries. Always like that. Always, let's get that live chat popping. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And like I said, let me know what you guys think of the live chat. But ladies, you guys ready for discussion for tonight?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talking about modern dating relationships.
Absolutely. I have
Yes.
some few words.
Maybe one more drink before we
Yeah,
start.
right.
Let's get that.
It's getting a little intense.
I know I finished mine. I need some more.
Yeah.
Oh, he drank all of it. Ooh, wow.
Most of it, yeah.
Okay.
I like it.
It was pretty good.
All right.
For those who don't know what Kava is, look it up.
Yeah.
Look it up.
You want to say something to the Kava dealer that you bought the Kava from? What's his name? What's his name?
Yeah, Rakesh.
Rakesh.
He got me.
Where did you get your
Got me.
Kava?
This PG store in San Bruno.
Oh, okay.
I go in. He asked me to get the bags today. I go in, I get the bags. Will tells me this one price. The guy tells me double the price.
Oh no.
Double the price. And I look at him like, is this price? He goes, it's this price, yeah. I come back, I'm like, maybe it's like a bigger size. Will's like, no, bro. Those are the same all the time.
Oh no.
Got him.
Real quick.
I said, whoa, bro.
All right. You should have been like, okay.
No, seriously.
All right, no worries. But we have a great show planned for you guys. Like I said, if you're single, definitely tap in. We can definitely hear some great discussions with the fellas and the ladies. I see you, T, on the live chat already. Oh yeah. Hey, what's up, T? Always good to see you on the live chat as always. But let's get right into it. I have a video I'm going to play. I saw it go viral
Okay.
on TikTok and Instagram. So it's a lot of ladies talking about what kind of man they want. So I want to hear from you guys what you guys think about these ladies talking about what kind of man they want. So let me play the video real quick and we'll get everybody's reaction and take on it. Okay. And think about what kind of man you want.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Let's play that video file. And of course, if you guys are watching this right now, I'm gonna play the video. It's related to the topic that we're gonna discuss tonight. So as you guys are watching the video as well, make sure you guys definitely let me know what you guys think on the comment. And of course, all the ladies that's on the live chat right now, let me know what kind of man they want. List the characteristics, the traits, the height and everything. Let me know what you guys think. Okay. So let me play this video and then we'll get the reaction from the panel. All right.
6 figures or 6 feet tall? You have 2 of the 3.
2 of the 3.
6 packs, 6 feet, 6 figures.
6 feet, 6 figures. I'm good.
What if he's 6 feet tall, but he's chubby?
But like, if you're 6 feet tall, like how are you chubby?
Rich 8-figure, that's my type. That's my type.
Women want a man that's 6 foot with a 6-pack, making 6 figures, but ain't even got 6 inches of hair. Ain't even got $6,000 in the bank. Probably got 6 kids. You got these high expectations for a man that you want, but what are you? What you got? What are you doing? What are you bringing?
Dang, he's going hard. All right, okay. All right.
Okay.
All right, so welcome back. I see Miles. Hey, what's up, Miles? Good to see you. Miles Benson. Hey, area. You guys were, hey, if you're on the Bay, show some love on the live chat. If you're from the Bay, you guys already know how we do here in the Bay. All right, but nevertheless, yeah, ladies and fellas. So this is something I see on social media. Obviously, you guys on social media. So this is a trend. A lot of women that they want the 666. It's not saying, okay, guys, we all believe in God here. All right, but they all want the 666 type of man. So they want the 6 feet, 6 figures, and the 6-pack. All right, so let me pass it to the lady. So this is interesting, and I've seen this a lot on social media, but I've also seen a lot of ladies talking to them. Some of them, or the 6 feet. That's the big one. I always heard a lot of ladies. They always say they want the 6 foot, even though she's 5 foot, but she wants the 6 foot. Okay.
But there's a reason.
But I'll pass it to you. I'll pass it to Gabby. Well, what's your thoughts? Is that the standard? Because a lot of fellas are hearing this, like especially the short kings out there. The short kings are the guys who don't make this out that certain type of level of money. They're the ones like, oh, you guys want these 666, but what are you guys bringing to the table? So I just want to pass it to you guys. Is that the expectation now? Is that
the short king stand up?
All right. Is that all right? So is that the standard today? 2023 dating relationships obviously is a little bit different today compared to our parents and grandparents' time. A little bit different. We got social media, we got dating apps, right? It's all these things that we use to date today. So ladies, is that the expectation? Is that the standard? And of course, if it is your standard, let us know if that's your standard, what you want in a man. But go ahead. What do you think about the 666? Is that real?
I personally, I have my own money. I make my own money. I make a substantial amount of money for my age, and I don't think money is a factor for me. I think that it's mostly about vibes, like feelings, for sure. I don't think he needs to be super rich, but he does have to be able to provide in other ways. Like if I need you to, if I have a hole in my wall, I need you to fix the hole in my wall.
Right.
Like that's an expectation from me. I need you to be a little handy. I need you to be a little useful around the house. I don't think you need to be rich because I have my own money. I can buy my own things. I have pretty much everything I want. There's nothing you could give me that I don't already have.
Right.
To the mic. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, there's nothing you can give me that I don't already have. So I don't think that's important. I think being tall is an important factor to me. Just because I am a little bit on the taller side, I'm like 5'5". I do want to feel like protected. And
how tall are you?
I'm 5'5".
5'5"
Yeah, I want to feel protected. I'm pretty tall girl. I feel I'm a big girl. I need a man who's gonna make me feel like safe. I don't want to hug like a hair clip.
Okay.
And a 6-pack? No, I like dad bods. All the way. Dad bod all the way. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm grabbing.
Yeah.
Dad bod all the way. I mean, he could have a 6-pack, but I don't really care.
Okay.
I don't really care.
All right. So money isn't a factor. Just be useful around the house and dad bod.
Just make my
Dad
life
bod.
easier. Make
All
my
right.
life easier.
Hashtag dad
Make life
bods.
easier.
I like a Mr. Make It Happen.
Ooh, yeah.
That's what I need.
Mr.
I need a Mr. Make It Happen.
Mr. Make it happen.
If he knows I'm struggling, if he sees, he's going to be the one to already have a plan to help me with my situation. I don't even have to tell him. He's already going to be doing it because he cares about me that much.
Right.
All right, no worries. All right, Gabby, thank you so much. Thank you for sharing. I see you, T. Short kings, get a chair and stand up. Okay, all right, no worries. And I see BL 17. I believe the 666 standard applies for Western women. All right, no worries.
It's
All
not
right.
realistic.
And I see
Victoria.
Victoria Quarles, 666 standard isn't realistic. Hey, shout out to you, Victoria Quarles.
Hey, we know where you're coming from.
Oh, is that you, Danny? That's you. That's your picture.
That's my sister.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, don't forget to like and subscribe, Victoria. Like and subscribe. All right. Let me pass it to Katia. Katia, what do you think? Is that the standard now today for modern dating? Is it you have to, as a man, you have to beat the 666 if you want to get a woman?
I don't think so. I think it's like you don't have to have all those qualifications to nowadays. It's more about like the inner of you. I don't think it's like about really how you look or anything like that. It's more about what you guys both could create and provide with each other.
Okay.
So
the life you create.
yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
So what's your standard then?
I'm like, I just feel like someone that could, I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain.
I think she's
like,
trying to say like make her feel safe, protected.
Yeah.
Like you when you're in a relationship, you want to be completely in your feminine energy. I don't want to have to worry about shit.
there
Okay.
you go. You said
Like-
it better than.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. No worries. I think if we drink a little bit more, the more will come out. Okay. Just kidding. We're
Right.
just getting
I'm like,
warmed up.
give me a little bit,
All
a
right, no
little bit
worries.
more time.
All right, no worries, Katia. As always, thank you so much. I'll pass it to you, Gina. Gina, is that the expectation now? Go ahead.
No, at least not for me. I don't think that's ever been the expectation. I don't care for high, like she mentioned, I have a really well-off job. I could do for myself. I provide for myself. There's nothing I can't do for me. So money is not necessarily, obviously it helps out in the long run if you're going to build a family. It helps, later on with kids and with activities and all that type of stuff, but it's not a requirement. Same thing with 6-packs. I do like somebody who takes care of themselves. You don't necessarily have to have the absolute like Greek god body, but like, like take care of yourself, take care of your hair. If you have a beard, take care of your beard. I don't want somebody
Hygiene.
that has,
Hygiene is very important.
somebody who's just out there looking kind of rough. You know what I mean? And vice versa. I'm sure that's the same thing for a man, but at least my standards are somebody who can provide some sort of stability, some sort of definitely, initiative towards wanting to make sure that I'm okay and that I'm taken care of, and not a financial need, but an emotional, physical, and just mental need. And yeah.
All right. No worries. All right. Thank you. Okay. All right. And pass it to you, Danny. Danny, what are your thoughts? We heard from the ladies. So, what do you think? Is that the expectation of 666?
I feel like we're talking majority wise, a majority of females feel like 666 is kind of the expectation. And I think you three might happen to have a good head on your shoulders and be an exception to a rule. But I think overall, most females would prefer someone to be taller, right? You're 5'5", you said. Okay, 5'5". Yeah, that's considered short for females, right? Like I think 5'8".
Kevin Hart is 5'5".
Kevin, okay. I think 5'8" is taller. 5'8" and higher than that is tall, I would consider, right? But most females would always say, "Oh, hey, I want someone that's 6 foot." Usually, when you see a girl that's 4'11", she's dating a basketball player, you know. And it's kind of crazy, but she is dating a basketball player. Yeah. And I think when it comes to income, most of it, like you said stability. That's the word that I took out of what you said, Gina. And stability usually comes first from financial stability, right? And I know you kind of touched on, hey, you want a man that can get it done, right? Make sure he can take care of things. I feel like most of the time when you have financial separation, or even like you have financial abundance in a certain way that you can get things done. If I don't know how to fix the hole in the wall, I can call Bob the builder to fix the hole in the wall. You know, it's going to get fixed.
Shout out to Bob.
Shout out to Bob. But I think for income wise, I think that's the same thing, 6 feet, income, 6 figures. But overall, I'm a big person I kind of think that 666 is the common day reality for most men.
I saw a comment on there that said that 666 standard is for Western women. Would you agree with that? Like, because people that grew up here in America, and then people who haven't. Would you say that that's a real thing?
That's a hard one because though I do know people that have grown up in other countries and I've seen other people in other countries, I don't know that many people from a dating perspective, right? From other countries, right? Because I feel like in general, most people, when you kind of think of other countries, you're thinking, oh, they're trying to get American papers.
Right.
They're like, they're with me for my papers. Like, not even the money. Like, I could be broke, but they're with me to be a citizen.
Right.
And so, like, you're like, well, they might love me or they love living here.
Right. That's true. That's
and
reality.
It's fine to do either way.
Right.
But I just want to make sure, of course, like there's some type of standard, and I think for maybe that is, again, Western society, Western women, because they already have a sense of like independence, freedom. So they're looking for more of the extremities, the extras, right? What can I get? And it's like, well, I know like with this is my quality, I can get this,
Okay. All right. No worries. So, okay. I have some questions I want to ask you guys. So let's break it down, right? You guys talked about what you guys want and what you guys prefer. Obviously, the dating experience for a woman is a little bit different. The dating experience
a lot different
for a man. All right.
Yeah.
So because you guys get to choose, right? You guys control access to sex, so you guys get to choose who you want. So as men,
Curious, actually.
we have to pursue you, right? We have to pursue you, get your attention, and we have to work for you. So, but I want to ask you guys. Let's start with the 666. What is your preferred height? Obviously, some of you guys said yes, it has to be 6 foot.
Yeah.
So let's start with what do you prefer? Obviously, because most girls they prefer to date taller men because taller men makes you feel it's a biological thing. It makes you feel protected, right? You want a man that's strong, that can provide it, make you feel protected, and make you feel safe. It's hard to feel safe if he's shorter than you.
Right.
You're the one doing the protecting.
Yeah.
It's all right. So a lot of women just want to feel safe from their man. They want a good man. They want a strong man, right? So what is your preferred height? And of course, if 6 foot is a standard, that's okay. All right. Everybody has standards. Men, we have standards and preferences. So let's have an open and honest conversation. So what's your preferred height? If it's 6 foot or so what is your preferred height? And also what is too short for you? What is the cutoff? Like I would never date a man below this. All right. So what is your preferred height and what is your cutoff? And that's too short for me.
I think my preferred height would be anywhere between 6 foot to 6'4", and I only say that because I wear heels regularly. I wear heels like every day.
Yeah.
So that's super important to me. I don't want to be walking around in my heels and like you're shorter than me. That's not the vibe. For me. But
you're looking down on them. Okay.
Yeah, I'd say like anyone under 5'11" is just not
too short.
Yes.
Okay. Ain't happening. No shot.
No.
0 shot.
I mean, you could be. I'm not gonna say there's no shot because like if I really like you, that doesn't really matter. But
like 99%.
But ideally, yes. Like when I'm wearing heels, I need you to be taller than me, and I don't wear high heels. Like it's reasonable.
How tall are your heels?
I'm 5'5". So, but when I wear heels, I'm like 5'8", 5'9".
Okay.
So just meet me there.
Okay. So 5'11" and less is no shot because that's just too short for you because you prefer when you wear heels. He's taller than you, right?
But yeah.
So 6 foot and above.
I'd say
6 to 6 foot, 6'4".
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I'll pass it to you. Got there. What is your preferred height? But also what is too short for you?
I don't think I have a preferred height, but as well,
every woman has a preferred
height.
height.
I don't like to date someone that's shorter than me because I'm already short
myself. So what's too short for you?
I'm like under 5. That's too short for me because I'm already.
How tall are you, Katya?
I'm 5'1". So
anything under 5'1" and under.
Yeah, it's too short. Well, obviously to date. But
what's like the shortest you've dated?
I think it's like 5'7".
5'7". Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what is what is your preferred height? If you had a chance to pick, like if you had to pick the man that you want, what is your preferred height?
I think someone that's not past 6.
said not pass?
Yeah, not pass.
So anything from 5'1" to
Yeah,
6
to
foot.
6, yeah.
Wow,
I mean, imagine
that's a big range.
proportions. Trust me.
That's a whole foot.
I know.
When it comes down to the nitty gritty, the proportions matter. You can't be too tall.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the
It's
shortest
on-
you've dated so far?
What's the shortest I dated?
So far,
I just said.
She said 5'7".
5'7".
Yeah.
Okay, so really it's 5'7".
Yeah.
Yeah.
5'7",
Well, that's what she's
6.
dated.
Yeah.
That's what she's dated so far. But you don't know what she falls in
But,
love with somebody and it's
yeah.
like fucking 5'5". The fuck?
Okay.
Okay.
So anything from 5'1" to 6 foot. Okay.
Yeah.
You're there.
Okay.
You're in.
You're there. Okay. All right. I'll pass it to you, Gina. Gina, same thing. What is your preferred height in a man? Also, what is too short for you?
Preferred height would be anywhere between 5'8" to 5'11".
Okay.
Same thing. I don't like too tall.
Okay.
Cannot be shorter than me, and I'm like 5'3".
5'3"?
Yeah,
Okay. So
Yeah.
5'3" is a cutoff, just too short for you.
that's too short. You can't. Yeah,
And then
I can't.
5'11" and above.
Yeah.
Okay. And how tall
Or
are you?
5'8" and above.
Oh, 5'8" and above.
Yeah.
Okay. 5'8" and above. Oh,
Mhm.
okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, you guys said I don't believe a man can be too tall.
what
Yes,
I'm
yes,
saying.
yes, they
That's-
can.
that-
They
I mean,
can.
I gotta-
They
I gotta
can't be
press
too
this
tall.
button.
No, they can.
That.
Come on.
No,
That's like me
No, they
saying.
can be too tall.
They
can.
The proportions are weird. Like if you're getting intimate with someone that's too tall, it's not gonna work out.
you can't
most
reach
of
their
the time.
face.
No, it's very
Yeah, climb.
awkward. It's very weird.
So
Trust me.
so you had a chance to be with the NBA player.
I had
You went?
I've been with a man who was 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
Wow.
But you were with him.
Yeah, I was with
So he got
him,
shot.
Yeah,
but it wasn't.
it wasn't working out.
It wasn't. It
too
was
good.
tough
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
get comfortable and being intimate. You know,
Oh. Well,
He's so
from
tall.
the men's perspective, like the 5'5" guys, like
like think about it like this: you're hitting it from behind, right? How are you gonna? You gotta pick that person up.
Yeah.
Or you gotta be laying on a counter or something. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's just not the proportions ain't right.
When there's a will, there's a way.
no. All I'm saying is a lot of the short kings, they'll hear like ladies like guys. I don't want to date guys that's too tall, but then he'll see you guys walking with them and dating him.
No, I think it's kind of uncomfortable too, because I mean, like when you imagine trying to go in for a kiss, like
Yeah.
realistically, that's like a fucking.
I know, but
they gotta
that-
bend down. You gotta like stand up. That's uncomfortable. And then like same thing when like they're trying to put their arm around you. If you're too tall, like
proportions
like,
matter.
you know what I mean? So it
They
just.
can just like pick you up.
But even then, do you want to get picked up as a grown ass woman
Yeah,
Every
I mean,
time.
every
Yeah.
single
A lot of
time?
girls will say that. like,
Okay, well, I guess. Just me personally, that's
Right.
so uncomfortable.
No, I
Yeah.
get, I can understand it. It was
Yeah.
the proportion.
Just
Okay.
way
It's
too
a
long.
weird proportion. Yeah, you gotta be creative.
And same thing. I mean, think about it in a proportion of like if they're shorter than you. I mean, you're walking down with your person and they try to put their arm around you. They're kind of like,
Oh yeah.
Right.
you know what I
Right.
mean? So it goes both ways. I don't
Yeah.
think there's a discrimination against short men because you're just short. It just doesn't proportionally. It just doesn't work out
No.
well.
Right.
I got it. All right, no worries. Yeah. All right. Let me go back to the live chat. Natasha. Hey, what's up, Natasha? Height is an important factor, especially for us taller women.
Mhm.
Of course, facts. All right, no worries. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And don't forget, if you want to support the channel, definitely drop a super chat donation. Every donation goes back to the podcast. I'll give you guys the best quality content. Okay. All right. So let's go from the height. So we just discussed the height. Let's pass it to the 6 figures. Okay. Now, but let's have an open conversation about this. So, I mean, do you prefer what is your preference when it comes to a man's ability to make money? How much does he have to make? You know, do you prefer him to make 6 figures, or prefer him to make less than you, or the same?
I think the most
what do you
important
prefer? I'll
thing
start
is
with
he
you,
needs to
Gabby.
have a passion.
Mhm.
That's the most important thing for me. I don't care if you're broke, dead shit broke, but if
Yeah.
you have a passion, it's gonna work out eventually. You know what I mean? That's my most important thing because I've dated men who have literally no passions. Like they just live and they're breathing and that's it. They
They're just
have
existing.
they're just
Right.
existing and like that's important to me. I have a passion.
Yeah.
I'm passionate about what I do. So having a man that has a passion is very important to me because number one, he's gonna put so much love and care into that passion that eventually it's gonna become something that he can eventually make money off of.
Yeah.
Even regardless if he doesn't make money off of it, at least I know that he's committed and he's happy when he's doing it.
Okay.
I'd say like you could be working you could be making $70,000 a year. That's fine. I'd say that's fine.
Yeah.
You don't need to be rich to mess with me. You
I mean,
just
I
need
mean,
to
do
make
you,
me happy.
do you have a preferred number? Like you prefer, if you had to choose, like what's the
No, I
number?
don't. I don't have a preferred number.
How much per month?
Like, do I make?
Oh,
No,
okay.
would you like that person to make?
What? Let me ask you this question. What's considered broke to you? Like, no shot.
I mean, someone who has just a bad broke to me is different. Broke to me is like you have a bad mindset. You don't want to get up and you don't want to do shit.
No, obviously, there's certain professions that a lot of women would be like, I'm not dating that guy because he works at this
It's
place.
so easy to go get up and get like a maintenance job,
Yeah.
making like 70, 80K a year. It's
Yeah,
so easy.
so what's
not hard.
So what's like broke? Because obviously the average right now, I guess minimum wage is like $30,000 a year.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah. So obviously, you guys, I'm assuming none of you
That
guys
is
want a guy
so
that's making
bad.
minimum wage.
Yeah, I think that's what we
No,
United
no.
States.
All right, so 30,000 should be considered.
I'd
like
say
broke.
60 would be the minimum.
Minimum.
60,000
So minimum,
a year.
anything below 60 would be. like
Yeah,
broke.
that's insane.
Yeah, especially in San Francisco.
And
Right.
you're a grown ass man. No.
Right.
Yeah.
So minimum for you is 60,000, and then what's your preference? Like, this is what you prefer him to have.
I mean, I would prefer him to be like anywhere near like 110 to 140K.
Okay, so 6 figures. Okay.
But it's not a requirement.
Mm.
It's not a requirement because I have dated like broke men.
Understandable.
Yeah,
I
but
feel
they-
for females,
And
preference is
I really
requirement.
did like them, like want to be with them, you know.
But they didn't have that passion.
But
But they didn't have a passion. They had nothing going for them, and that's very unattractive to me.
No goals.
No goals. At least have a goal. You could be dead broke. At least have something that you love doing. At least have something that you're passionate
I think
about.
when for a man, they should have goals and they should have something going on for themselves.
They should.
You can't just date somebody that doesn't have nothing going on for themselves.
Yeah.
Or like literally no money. Like you just broke.
Yeah.
Like, you have to have some certain type of income coming in.
You could be minimum wage for going to school or something.
Yeah,
minimum
exactly,
wage
exactly.
and stuff.
That's why it's
at
kinda,
least you
like,
have,
hard to say.
some type of income coming
Right.
in.
Right.
You can't just be no job and just
Exactly.
living
I
in
just
your
think
mama's
more.
house.
We're thinking more long term versus
Right.
something super short term. Like a lot of women nowadays are very impulsive and
In the
short term
moment.
thinking in the moment, just what I
Yeah.
want right now when I want it. You need to do everything I say. Like we're grown ass women. We've been there. We've done that.
Right.
And it's not realistic. Like you have to have standards for yourself, and you have to have expectations from your man, and you need to set those boundaries so that those other type of men aren't even in your circle.
Right.
They're not even passing that threshold.
Okay. So
You
got the,
attract what you
Yeah.
what you give out.
Yep. So got the 30,000. That's broke for you, right?
I mean, it's not broke. You're at least doing something. You're not like you have no income. You can't. I mean, for a lot of people, it will be broke because it's like you're making the lowest number out there. But it's better than not making nothing. So
I know, but there has to be a certain certain
mean-
level where you're like, no, that guy has no shot with me because he's making not enough money. Like if guy was like working at a library,
well,
all right? like
Funny.
for a fact he ain't getting no attention from you, right?
That's a government job, and he has great benefits. Saying.
I know.
I wouldn't be totally thrown off
Yeah,
by
he has
that.
great benefits, and he'll
I
definitely be
wouldn't
single.
be.
Yeah.
I don't think I would be thrown off by that. Like if I'm like, oh, this library worker is
You
kind of
know?
fine.
Short
I want to
term,
see
not
what
long
he's
term.
all about.
But I think
Like
you're
is
right.
he must be the artsy type. I like those.
I
like the
think
artsy
you do
type.
have a really fair point, though. It
Yeah.
could be short term because
Yeah.
at some point
We're
you
dating.
do kind of get tired of that. Like,
Yeah.
even if they do have an ambition, but their ambition isn't going anywhere,
Mm-hmm.
you eventually do get tired, especially if you're thinking about it long term.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely.
So I think you're right. I think short term it would work out, but I mean, if nothing comes out of it, at some point you're gonna be like, you know what, this ain't for me.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
remember, like we're not talking about attraction.
Right,
Like,
right, right.
You can be attracted to somebody who's
Yeah.
broke.
right.
You'd be
Right.
like when you go into the when you see a fine cash register in Walmart, right? Oh,
Mhm.
damn, he's fine.
Yeah.
But that stops there.
Right.
But stop it there, please.
Right. That never
In
goes
the
any,
self-checkout.
doesn't go further than that.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
All right.
You know-
at the end of the day, he's a
Yeah.
cash register at
Yes.
Walmart.
Let me break it down for you guys. 30,000, right? That's minimum wage, like you said.
Mhm.
That is 5,000 a month.
Right.
Right. Sorry, it's 2,500.
25. Right.
2,500
That's not
a month.
5,000 a month.
60,000 is 5,000 a month.
Yeah.
apologize, But
Yeah.
2,500 a month.
Per week.
So per week, that's around 750.
That's
right?
nothing.
750 if we're doing 4 weeks,
Right.
right? 4 weeks in a month. $750 a week. Is that going to take you out to?
Nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean, the corner store and back, right?
Yeah. That's like half 2 checks of the rent already.
Yeah, that's like 2 trips to Target.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is true.
Okay. So
But-
so that was got yes. We pass it to you. What's considered broke for you, and then what's your preferred salary limit?
I definitely think 30,000 is broke, and that doesn't necessarily mean that's a bad thing. But it's just it is what it is. It is what it is, right?
Your minimum wage.
Right. It is, unfortunately, at least in the Bay Area.
Right.
Preferably, like Gabby mentioned, I think 60K and above, just to be able to live comfortably, or not comfortably, but at least live. You know, would be preferable. But I definitely do think that, at least in my own, just what I've lived through, I wouldn't necessarily cut somebody off like I'm like the cash register thing that you said. I mean, he might be cute, he might have some fucking great mouthpiece, and then you might just be like, all right, like you might get a date out of that. That doesn't necessarily mean that we're gonna be like, we're in love forever.
Have you ever dated a cash register?
When I was younger. But again, but that's what I'm saying. Like eventually it does kind of get old. You know, there has been the thing of like your Starbucks barista isn't making all that money. Might be cute, might be great personality. They might be going to school for something really freaking good. They just can't afford to do it full time. Don't have some sort of don't have the transition. And if I know that you're actually working towards it, great. But if you're just somebody in college doing your freaking general ed and you don't know where you're going and you're just kind of like, we'll see what happens, I'm just gonna feel like you're eventually gonna piggyback off of me type of thing. So
once it starts feeling like that, that's when I'm like, okay,
and that's when
you're done.
It's a problem.
You're done.
I don't think it will disqualify you necessarily, but I think once you do get to know the person and you kind of you kind of do see like this person isn't going anywhere with anything that they're doing, then you're done.
Okay. All right.
How about for women? Is that the
Well, I mean,
how do you guys feel about women making that?
Go ahead, Daddy.
And in that case, right, it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
What a female makes, because like you used a term that I kind of want to reuse right now. You said piggybacking, right? And I don't mean piggybacking as in the sense where like one person's taking all the load, but financially, most of the time, the male shares, I would say, a majority of the financial burden, or cost. So no matter what job you have, no matter what aspirations you have, as long as you kind of fit into the criteria of someone that's kind of qualifying for me, finance isn't a thing. Yes, it's almost like you guys said, I'm assumed that I'm going to have to be paying the obligation financially, right? I'm going to have to, when I go out to the restaurant, take you out to a nice dinner, I'm paying. And it's not, I'm not, it'd be nice if, of course, you reach your card out, I just play with you a little bit, move your card, but at the end of the day, I'm going to pay. And it's because that's kind of the perspective, and that's kind of the ideology of a man in this, this society.
Yeah. No, it's a interesting conversation, right? Obviously, if you look at the difference of what men and women look for as far as a long-term partner, usually the traits that women look for is for a man that has resources and has some form of education and competence, because at the end of the day, it's a biological reason, right? Because when you have children, when you have babies, you have to get pregnant, you have to take some time off. You need to be with a guy that has a certain stability, right? If you're with a broke guy that can't provide for you, then you're in a very tough situation. You've had babies and the guy can't provide for you, so you might have to end up going to work while being pregnant. So a lot of women prefer that they find a strong man with stability, so that way, for a fact that you can trust him to take care of you when you have children, right? So I think one of the things I do here today with a lot of women, especially you guys can make a lot of money. I think I'm traditional. I think as a man, your role as a man is to provide and protect your woman, right? You should give her the best life possible and make sure you get the best life for your children. I think that's your sole duty and responsibility as a man. But I think today, one of the issues a lot of women, and I think you guys said it, I think Gabby said it, where when I ask you, how much money does a man make? And a lot of times, a lot of modern women have this mentality, I make my own bag. I don't require him to make a bag. Right. And I think that's kind of dangerous. So that way you're going to line up and you're going to pick certain men that don't have no ambition or goals or not making money. What happens when you guys have children?
But there are standards. Yes, I'm saying that, but I still have standards.
Yeah. But the reason why I still know that you still want a man that makes money, because when women say I want a man with passion, ambition, for our eyes, for us men, that means money.
Yeah.
That means eventually he'll have money.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it means.
I think I just need to see some potential. Like I just need some creativity. I just need to see that you love what you do.
Yeah. Well,
that makes me happy. That like kind of turns me on.
You can love what you do though and not get paid for it.
Yeah.
Right.
But when women usually say that they want a man that's passionate, has certain ambition, you want that for you. That means that you want him to feel his potential, because eventually, if he becomes that good, that man that you want, eventually he's going to give you a good life.
Exactly.
All right. So a lot of times I think it's dangerous for you guys. Oh, I don't really care about money. Then a lot of guys here who hear that and I don't need to, because I think as a man, one of the things we have to do is we have to work to make sure that we put ourselves in a position so we can take care of you.
Right.
Yes.
That's what my dad. That's the example I saw my dad. He went out there every single day to provide for my family and for my mom and us. But I think a lot of guys, when you guys say, "Oh, I don't care about the money," and a lot of guys think like, "Oh, I don't really have to work. I don't need ambition. I don't need goals. All she cares about is everything else." So a lot of guys would, but the thing is, a lot of these guys would not work on their money, and they think you could have a chance with you. But then when they try to date you, you always go for the guy that has ambition and passion and a certain type of income.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I think you guys should. I think you guys should demand.
We do. I do.
Demand a guy that has
to
have a certain level or a certain level of income. I think you should demand that from him. I think if you go with a guy, well, if a guy has qualities of that he has something going on, maybe, he has some kind of potential. But I don't know how many times I've seen a lot of ladies with the baby mamas and then their baby daddies got no job. All right, no job.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. Like that's so wild. Like you're just living life. You're just breathing for no reason.
Yeah. Like this guy has no.
Yeah, you're just
you're taking up space.
You know how many times I've seen girls like they're going to work and then the dude's back home and playing video games.
You know, it's really interesting because you said it. It's very a traditional mindset, but I mean, we are living in a world where also women are the breadwinners and men are staying home and taking care of their kids.
Yeah.
You know, times have changed so much that is a reality for some. I have a lot of friends who are in that stage where both successful, both one's a lawyer, one's a doctor, by whatever. And, her job makes more sense for her to stay in it and make the bread while he's better off taking care of the children. And it just works.
Yeah.
I think it was very taboo way back when our parents were growing up, because I totally agree. My dad was that to my parents. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. She never had work up until we came here. And so for her, it was a whole new world. And now seeing it later on with other people, obviously now you have a dynamic where the financial scale that we're all having to deal with is so absurd that you do have to go that extra mile and sometimes have to sacrifice that, and sometimes you can't be the stay-at-home mom that you want to be or whatever the case may be. But that doesn't mean that man doesn't have the qualities to be a great provider or anything like that. It just happens to be that in that specific scenario, it works.
The problem is, and I've seen this, I think even though society has changed, but what we want biologically is still the same.
Right.
So the thing is, society has changed, right? Women have the ability to work and you guys can make your own bag, which is great. I don't have a problem with that. But there are a lot of studies out there and research out there. If you go look at it, there's a lot of reporting that a lot of women said that they're okay working in their 20s, but once they hit 30 and they get older and they have children, they don't want to work no more.
Right.
Like they want to step back and they want the man to take over.
It's not that we don't want to work. I feel like it's that raising our children is
exactly, but
that's
your
priority.
But that's your biology speaking, right? So when you have children, your hormones change because now the instinct as a mother, like you want to be around your kids.
You want to be able to the one to be taking care of them at all times. Yeah.
But the thing is, like I said, for men, like we're wired differently. Like we just like to go out there and work, right? But the thing is, for a lot of women, is if they go out there and you pursue a career, and you don't demand men to make more than you, then that man is dependent on you. So then when you step back, now that guy that's making less than you, he has to go out there in the real world and try to provide for you, but he was never in that position.
Right.
And now you're stuck with that guy.
Right.
And now you're stuck with that dude. That's the guy you pick.
No, that's not.
Now that's going to cause issues in relationships. And then one of the primary reasons of divorce is finances.
Right.
I will not date a man that's dependent on me. That is one requirement.
Right.
You cannot be dependent on me.
Yeah. But that's why you got to pay attention to what you said, because when they ask you, like, does money matter? A lot of you guys are like, oh, doesn't matter.
Right.
And then when guys hear that, it's like, oh, I don't need to make money. Oh, I can depend on her.
It's just standards. Like I'm gonna treat you how you kind of display yourself. Like if I'm just using you for sex, I'm gonna treat you like I'm just using you for sex.
Yeah.
Like, come here and get out. It's like the standards. Like I would never treat a man that I'm like seeing, romantically like that. It's like there's different men for different things, and that's a reality. Like let's talk about that. That's a reality.
Yeah,
like come on.
Yeah, it's facts.
Yeah. You want to add?
Danny's like
That's a reality. Like we don't necessarily have to want to date these men, but these men are good for one thing, so I'm gonna keep you around for that one thing.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not gonna play with you, but
But let me ask you guys this question. I mean, obviously, you guys are independent. You guys can work. You guys are all working. But this is the question I want to ask you. What do you prefer? Do you prefer to work and be with a man that you guys are doing 50-50? So you pay 50% of the bills, and he has to depend on you to pay the bills, and he has to pay 50? Or do you prefer with a man that could 100% take care of you, and you have the option to work? So if you want to work, you're cool.
Yeah.
If you want to be a stay-at-home mother and sit back and and just raise your children, he gives you that option.
Right.
But he's 100% got you, and your future is locked up and secure. Like, which man do you prefer?
The traditional route.
Yeah,
traditional route.
definitely, for sure.
Right? Yeah.
That's something that I look for in a husband.
Yeah.
I think at this point in my life, I'm like actually actively like in like husband mode. Like I need a husband. I want to. That person is gonna meet all of my requirements. But in terms of just dating, like there's different requirements.
Why is dating why is dating different?
Dating is different because like, you know, we're just having fun. I'm just chilling. I don't see us going anywhere, but I like you for right now.
Let me ask you a question. What's the purpose of dating?
Depends on, you know, where you are at in your life. Like, I can say that maybe last year I wasn't quite ready to be with anybody long term. And so I was just kind of, you know, just dating to meet new people and like hook up, you know?
Yeah.
But now I'm at a point where it's like, okay, all these people are cool, but like I need a husband now. Like I need you to be that guy that's going to take care of me. I need you to be Mr. Make It Happen.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a huge difference when you're dating like a Mr. Make It Happen and a Mr. like temporary.
Do you think anyone in the past you dated though is that person? Is a Mr. Make It Happen type of guy?
Yes. And I can say that I've definitely like made my mistakes and fucked some shit up too. Like I'm not perfect. And maybe, you know, I would have probably still been with that person if I played my cards right. You know, shit happens, and though I can't control that, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So I just have to move forward and find, you know, that next Mr. Make It Happen.
Let me ask you, Gatia, what's the purpose of dating?
Oh, I think.
Can we agree there's different
No,
purposes of dating?
I'm just asking, what's the purpose of dating?
There is difference of what you want or what you're looking for and stuff. But I'm guessing the purpose of dating is like getting to connect with people, and because you are looking for something, so that's why you're dating them. So you're getting to know them. So I feel like it's more like you date them to know them, and I feel like you're just trying to find the person that you want in people when you're dating, and it's just like
You're trying to
basically
figure yourself out. It's not serious.
Figure what you want like with people, because you could date so many people and you might not like a lot of things of them. So
Okay. Let me ask you, Gina, what's the purpose of dating?
Nowadays, dating is just to kind of getting to know people, I feel, and then figuring out what that's going to go into.
If I even like you.
Yeah, if I even like you, you know, I mean, if you would have asked me this way before, I mean, like courting is basically trying to date towards marriage, whereas dating nowadays is defined as just getting to know each other and trying to figure out where you fit in that person's life, and if you even want them to fit in that part of your life.
But for you personally, like
for me,
what's the purpose of dating? When you date someone?
Where I am in life right now, dating for me is, like she mentioned, looking for a husband, looking for a life partner, settling down.
Yeah.
If you would have asked me a couple of years back, I would have said, shit, just trying to get to know somebody and see where it goes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Danny, what do you think is the purpose of dating?
Well, I have to say dating is for marriage, you know, it's for courting. I think dating and courting is typically the same thing. When I'm getting to meet new people, you know, and let's say right now I'm in a long-term relationship. So I've been with my person for 5 years. So being in a long-term relationship, though.
Great job.
Thank you. But being in a long-term relationship, it shows you that when you start dating a person, it's more of a commitment than anything, right? Because it's a commitment to be wanting to figure things out with you.
Yeah.
And I think the portion before dating is kind of what you guys were referring to as talking and getting to know people,
getting
right?
to know somebody.
I don't see that as the same as dating, right? I think talking could be a couple months, it could be 6 months, it could be a year, depending on the type of relationship you have with the person you have, right? But I believe once you establish it as dating, we're going to see at all ends.
Maybe casually dating.
I don't believe that, right? Because casually dating isn't really dating, right?
casual.
It's not casual, right? It isn't casual, right? The only person that really is casually dating, right, in that case is a guy that's not looking to be serious with you.
Yeah.
Right.
Someone that's not looking to be serious is they call it casually dating for you to put a label on it, typically, right? But it's for the guy himself. It's not really he's going to put a label on it. It's going to be, hey, we are talking, you know.
Yeah,
and
that guy will let you know, like, I want you. You're mine.
Yeah, but you're not really his because you're casually dating.
I think the
right?
problem with casual too is that somebody always ends up kind of hurt because it's mainly one-sided. Even if you do speak to somebody and kind of try to get on the same
But what
page.
if you're honest with them? What if you're saying, this is where I'm at and this is how I feel about you, and if you're okay with that, let's move forward. If you're not, then it's cool.
I don't want to use that term dating then, because you're not casually dating, you're casually connecting. Right. You're just like friends, right? Like, I don't date my friends, but I am in a relationship with my friends, right? And so that relationship entitles of us hanging out sometimes, us not hanging out sometimes, us connecting sometimes, us not connecting sometimes. But there's a balance between that. And so if it's in a more personal, of course, like intimate relationship with that person, like there is, of course, you have to conversate, you have to make sure you're communicating with that person, but I don't think that's considered dating in that case, right? For me, my idea of dating is you're with a person that you plan to establish something long-term with, right? You want to start off something with that person. So when you're dating that person, you're committing to that person that, hey, we're going to build and until this falls down and we can't build anymore, you know, until forever, really, until of course one of the or the other person decides, hey, this is not the building I want to be building, you know.
Right.
And so
I want to ask you guys a question before I respond. I don't believe in casual dating. I don't believe in casual relationships. But let me ask you guys this question: how many times do you guys want to get married?
Ooh. I'm not answering that question.
No, like how many times do you want to just get married to one time and find your right person for the rest of your life and you guys live happily ever after? Or do you want to marry multiple guys, casually marry multiple guys and figure that out? How many times do you want
I definitely don't want to marry
multiple times to figure it out? To casually
exactly. No, I'm not committing until I'm ready.
So you only want to get married once and that's it?
Yes.
Okay. How many times do you want to get married?
Once.
Same.
How many times do you get married?
Same once.
Once. All right. Look, for me, I'm gonna share from my perspective. I'm a very rational person, right? So if you ask most people, and I would agree that most men and women, they just want to get married one time and not get divorced, because as you guys know, divorce is not a good outlook and situation for the children and both parents, right? So the thing is, if all you guys said that you only want to get married once, right? I always believe one of the biggest decisions that you will ever make in your life is who you choose to be your partner and who you choose to have children with.
Right.
If you make a wrong choice in that person, there are a lot of consequences.
Definitely.
Right. Obviously, we've heard stories of baby mamas, baby daddies having divorce issues, separation, now the issues with the kids. Now, we've all heard that, right? So if you only want to get married one time and you guys are all agreeing with casual dating, do you realize that 99% of the guys you casually date is going to fail and it's going to waste your time? Because there's only going to be one guy that you guys want to be with, and you only want to get married one time.
But I already know when I'm casually dating if I'm going to be with that person and if I'm not. I already know.
But this is the problem with casual dating, because like I told you guys before, most people want to just get married one time.
But if you're honest with them, like I'm a very upfront. I don't want to be with you. I don't like you.
Yeah.
It's not going to go any further than this, but you could stick around if you want.
The thing about casual dating is there's no expectation, because I do believe I think dating should be, the purpose of it is to, what's the goal of dating is to eventually build a relationship, have children, create a strong family. Right. Family is always the ultimate, because that's the ultimate goal, right?
Yes.
Dating is the starting point, but the outcome that you guys want is a good man and a strong family and children, and you guys are happy and you guys are living a great quality of life. For me, dating is the vetting process. This is the process where you make sure that this person has to be that one person.
Right.
And if that person doesn't show to me with the behavior, his mindset, and the traits, if that person is not the right person for me, then I have to vet him out, because I can't take that risk. Because the risk is you can have a baby with a baby daddy ain't shit, right? You have a guy that's not in a good relationship, right? You can be with the guy that's just using you for sex, right? You can be with the guy that's using for sex.
Yeah.
So if you don't have strong standards and a strong vetting process, and that's why a lot of people today in the casual dating, they're getting played, they're getting manipulated, right? So, but the thing is, if you never set that expectation up front, hey, I'm only gonna go forward if we're going to commitment. And what is your plan? Like, what do you want out of this?
That's what I was trying to say.
Exactly.
Like, you need to be upfront about it.
Yeah. But how many times when you casually date men and you're upfront with them in the beginning, I want a ring, I want marriage, I want commitment, I want children. How many times you had that conversation with the guys you casually dated?
Oh, I definitely have. If I really like them and I'm like, hey, this is what we're doing. This is where I want to be. Is that like something that you would be interested in? If they're not, cool, I'm moving on.
How long was the time period before you had that conversation?
Not long. You can tell vibes. I go off vibes.
What's the longest you were casually dating somebody before you had that conversation?
Like 3 months.
3 months.
Yeah, 3 months.
That's 3 months of your time.
I already know if I like you or not. I already know.
Yeah.
I already know if I can, because I get annoyed very easily.
Yeah.
I get irritated very easily. If you're just kind of like, I have my men for their purposes.
Yeah.
And that's just my life. Like I'm not saying everybody else has to do it. This is just my life. They have their purposes.
Yeah.
But who I'm truthfully dating, who I'm truthfully committing to, they're gonna know everything that's going on. And I'm not gonna hide anything from them. And I'm also not gonna be doing shit behind their back.
Yeah.
Because I don't want, if I'm going into a committed relationship, you need to know exactly what's happened. I'm not gonna be I'm not gonna be like doing you wrong. If I'm truly committed to you, if I really like you, that's not gonna be an issue. They'll already be gone.
Right.
If I really like you.
Yeah. But the thing is, you said you dated a guy for 3 months, and now you wasted 3 months of your time.
I don't think it's wasting time.
Well, I'm just saying is that there's a lot of people out there. 3 months is your example, but I know people right now 6 months relationship, 1 year, like 2 years. There's women out there with 5 years with a guy.
That's crazy.
He hasn't put a ring on the finger.
That's crazy.
But they're still casually dating.
Right.
So the thing is,
that's something that they accept,
which is wild that that's even happening. Because I think that there should be definitely a line that you need to like say.
It's what you accept as a woman,
but that's the difference between dating with intention for marriage and casually dating. Casually dating, you're just like, let's hope for the best.
I think like Danny said, I wouldn't consider that dating. I think that would just be like a friends with benefits or like just somebody that's doing serving a purpose.
But the thing is, modern times has switched that.
Right.
Because traditionally, our parents was like, if you wanted to date a woman back in the day, you had to go meet the dad. You had to go to you go talk directly to the father, and when you talk to the dad, the dads can tell if you're bullshit.
Yes.
Right. So you talk to the dad, you meet the family. And then once the family checks on you to make sure that you're a worthy man, and then you guys can finally meet.
Right.
But the thing is, today we kind of removed that. Now in modern times, we've removed the vetting process, so we can just choose a man based on like, the vibe is strong. So let's hope this goes towards marriage and family and kids. Right? But hope is not a strategy. You can't hope to be successful. It's how do you put in the work and commitment, should have certain traits.
Well, I think that's why you should have those important conversations from the jump.
Yeah, you need to have those conversations from the jump. I think I don't want to waste anybody's time. I don't want to waste my time.
Well, conversations is great, but also you gotta have high standards.
Exactly.
Right.
And let's be honest, are the standards high enough for a man to have sex with a woman?
No.
I can swipe right now on Tinder. And I get a match tonight, and I'm on.
And you have
Exactly. It's that easy nowadays, and that's the problem. It's that easy nowadays.
Full set, I'm on my way.
Right.
Yeah, no, but you know what? That also comes with age and with experience, because nowadays it's so easy to get caught up in somebody telling you just the right things. I mean, you can go into a date and somebody could promise you the world and be like, you know what? You want a ring? I'll give you a ring. Yeah. You want this? I'll give you that, just for the sake of kind of leading you on, and then you get put in a situation. So I think it's very difficult just to date, period. I think that's why we're having this conversation now, is because it is so tricky,
it's not black and white.
It's definitely not black and white. As much as you put those standards, if somebody's gonna lie to you, somebody's gonna lie to you. I think it comes with experience to know when that person is lying to you and when they are coming to you
100%. Like, you know what I mean? Feel that when someone's genuine.
Yeah. But again, when you're young and you're stupid and you're just kind of like thinking like, shit, like this person's selling me this dream, right. You're gonna believe it, and then you find out later on in life that you were lied to.
Like that.
So it kind of goes both ways. I definitely agree with you. There should definitely be high standards, and that there should be a threshold of what you're willing to put up with. But at the same time, I think it's just so damn hard because everybody's so caught up in this mentality of like there's better. There's always going to be better. Men and women both think the same way. You know what I mean? That's not just exclusively for women or men. It goes both ways. So I think it's just having that mentality of knowing what you're willing to put yourself through and willing to accept,
Mm-hmm.
and also kind of being better at judgment of people's characters.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just read some chats real quick.
Yeah.
And we'll definitely continue. All right. Shout out to everybody on the live chat right now. Shout out to you guys. Woo, you guys are live in the live chat. Let's get that live chat popping now. So let me read some live chats. All right. I see.
I have my men for different purposes.
All right. I see. I have my BL17. I have my men for different purposes. Red flag. Run. All right. Jeez.
I mean, y'all could say whatever you want.
All right. No
At
worries.
least I'm honest.
All right.
I'm not lying to nobody. And I know when I do find my man, I'm gonna commit to him. I don't commit to these,
Well,
yeah.
Honesty is my best policy, guys.
It's all good. It's all good. Yellow Pill Coffee. They still be claiming young and stupid at 30. Okay.
There's nothing wrong with having men for different purposes.
all
Men
right.
are not always useful for everything. Like there are some men that really ain't shit and they're good for one thing, and that's okay.
See,
there's some
see
genders.
that the problem would have.
No, definitely men
Both,
and women.
you
I
know.
know a woman personally that came to the top of my head. She doesn't have a job, sleeps on a mattress on the floor. She expects her boyfriend to pay for everything. She expects him to buy her a car. She doesn't plan on getting a job anytime soon. She has nothing going for her, no personality, no ambition, no talents, nothing. She's absolutely nothing. And she expects this man to take care of him. And it's like, girl, what is going on in your head? Like, are you dumb?
See, it's crazy because that girl has a man though, and if it was flipped the other way, if that man didn't have a job, didn't have a car, was sleeping on his mattress,
But he's accepting that as his woman, and that's him.
True,
He's
but
accepting that treatment, and she's accepting being okay not having her own shit going on.
yeah, but that comes back to the fact of men are typically the ones that are providers.
But wouldn't you want to do better for yourself?
In a certain way? That means, what do you mean by do better, right? Financially, not necessarily.
Financially, emotionally, like what are you doing with yourself?
Well, financially, if I'm looking for, like, again, maybe my significant other, I don't want her necessarily to do financially better than me. She can do financially better for herself if she so chooses. But if she so chooses to do nothing, and knit all day, she could do that.
She has no
she
talent.
can knit.
She has no absolutely nothing going for her. She sits at home all day and watches TV.
Yeah.
So it's like, how can you if I'm going to have a man take care of me, I want to have my own shit first. I need to be independent, because if me and this man don't work out, like sometimes it does, unfortunately.
Yeah. Shit
happens. We could be married for 40 years and we've fallen out, and now we're getting divorced. It's been 40 years. Since I've been relying on you our whole relationship, I have no skills. I have no resume. I have nothing to lean on. Like, I need to make sure that I have my own shit before I can feel comfortable releasing myself, my femininity to that man.
But that's a problem. Casually dating, right?
That's not casual dating, though. We've been married. People get divorced all the time. People get divorced all the time. Like I said, I could have been married to this man for 40 years, and something happened in those last years of our marriage to where we just cannot coexist anymore. People change. Life changes.
Yeah.
If that worst scenario happens, I need to make sure at the end of the day I have something going for me.
Yeah.
And that's why women are so scared grown women are so scared to fully let a man take care of them or fully release themselves into their feminine energy to men, because they let us down.
Let me ask you a question. So you said you believe in dating men with different purposes, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you having sex with all these men?
No.
Okay. You're having sex with some of these men?
Not even some. Like 1%.
So out of all these men, it's only one.
Sex is like.
I'm just saying, are you having sex with one, or are you having sex with some? Or
one. No, it's always one. Like,
Okay.
You don't want to be dirty. Like you have to be like healthy to yourself as well. Like giving your body out to multiple people is not a healthy thing to do.
So my issue with the casual dating thing is, like I said before, if the man hasn't proved himself that he's willing to give you commitment, that he's willing to make you your wife, to make sure that he wants to build a family with you. If he hasn't proven to you that verbally, but not only verbally, but with his actions, and he also has the work behind it. You can see with his behavior, with his lifestyle, that he's actually doing things that can give you that lifestyle that you want. If he hasn't done that, the thing is, like I told you guys before, what is your outcome? All of you ladies said, I want a family, good man, children.
Right.
All right. Just think about this rationally, right? If you want to be healthy, right? What are the steps you need to do to get healthy? What is it?
Eat good.
Eat good. What else?
Work out.
Work out. What else?
Healthy
focus
mindset.
on yourself.
Focus on yourself, right? So
Right.
usually eating good, dieting, working out, right? The thing is, the problem with me is when I hear people that say, I want my outcome that I want, family, good man, and children, right? And we're living good and living a great quality of life. But the thing is that the steps that you take, the behaviors that you do leading up to it does not match what the outcome you want. So if you want the strong family, but then you're casually dating these multiple guys that you potentially maybe having sex with one guy, but that guy could leave you and leave you with the child behind it and abandon you, that's still a risk.
I think you have to be safe about it. I'm not having unsafe sex.
I know, but you haven't.
I'm not committing to this man. I'm not seeing this man every day. I don't care for this man, and
But here's the problem: you're having sex with a man that hasn't committed to you.
I don't want him to commit to me. I would really rather not.
So we'd have a sex with a man that doesn't want to commit to you.
I don't want to commit to him. That's the problem.
Okay, but you don't. But you want him to commit to you?
No.
But then your outcome doesn't align with the outcome.
My outcome is with a specific type of person.
What is your outcome? You want to get married once?
I do want to get married once, but not with that person.
But you want a good man, right?
I want a good man,
You
but
want- but you
but
want a
I'm gonna
man-
be honest with him because I am an adult and I do like live my life for
No.
sure.
No, I understand. So you want a good man, you want to get married one time, you want a happy family, you want a man that's a provider, protector, they're gonna take care of you, right? All right. But do you see like the steps that you're taking, the casual dating and the way you behave is not matching the outcome that you want.
I mean,
There's gonna be a lot of risk- there's a lot of risk that
realistically,
can
you
happen to
can't. Nobody's perfect. Realistically, we can't expect someone to live their whole. We can't expect like, oh, my wife needs to be a virgin. It's not realistic nowadays.
Now we're not talking about virginity.
But you're basically what you're saying is like I need to, take steps like to like I'm a grown ass woman. Like I have like sexual urges.
No, I understand.
But I don't have sex with just anybody. You know what I mean?
understand.
And like these people, like I probably had the same hoe for like 3 years.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
you're good for one thing, and like that's okay.
No. So what I like I said, like everybody can live however they want. But like if you ask most people, like if you want to casually, everybody is either traditional dating, casual dating, situationships. But if you ask most people deep down in your core, what is the outcome? Do you see yourself in the future, 50, 60, 70 years from now?
Right.
Most people will say, I just want to get married once, with a good partner. I want a good life. I want children, and we want to live a good quality of life.
Yeah.
But the question you have to ask yourself is, like everything in life, you have to earn it.
Right.
Are you doing the necessary steps and making the certain decision to get to the outcome? But
I definitely am.
Well, I would disagree because I don't think casual dating doesn't give you that best chance to get the outcome that you want.
I think
I think it gives you more risk to attract guys that was going to waste.
I think what Will is saying is that like right now the position of being like how he said casually dating or like just having like hoes or whatever isn't gonna necessarily lead to a marriage because you're not focusing on that. It's what I'm understanding that you're getting at, right?
I'm not focused on that because when the man that I want to marry comes around, I'll know and I'll be like, okay, I'm ready to commit.
Like how would you know that? How would you know that? How would you know that's the right man he's committed to?
Because he does everything that I need him to do.
Can you name those everything?
He needs to take care of me. Yeah, I did name it earlier. He needs to take care of me. He needs to be able to provide not a lifestyle. I don't need him to give me money, but he needs to emotionally take care of me. Like I need to feel safe around him.
How about if they could do all those things, but they're not committed to you, or
there's a lot of guys with money, right?
But that's like you're listing like a bunch of things, and that's the right man for you, but they might not be the right man.
There's a lot of guys with money that they waste your time.
They will give you everything that's in your list, like you're checking everything on your list, but it's like, and it looks like the perfect man for you, but at the end of the day, it's not. Even though,
but I'll know.
I
wouldn't commit unless I knew. I'm not going to commit to just anybody.
I think what you're getting at is like there shouldn't be, if you're looking for something like I guess I'm just
not looking.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Yeah, right.
That's what I'm saying.
Totally
I'm not
fair.
looking.
And that's totally fair.
I'm not looking. He will fall into my lap.
Okay.
Hopefully though, right?
Yeah.
Right. That's all wishful thinking.
I know.
But don't you think that's like I said? This
I don't think. I believe that when I manifest something, I just manifest it and it will come to me. I don't have to go searching for it, especially love. That's not something that I'm gonna.
Understandable, but that's still wishful thinking. Like, right? I might manifest to hit the lottery.
Right.
But I'll know. I'll know.
And it's.
I mean, you can manifest become a billionaire, but
there's
not gonna happen.
Billions of people in the world.
I mean, you still gotta work.
But I'm not committing to billions of people. I'm committing to.
That's totally. Yeah, I get it.
I guess what I should be getting at is like you're still trying in different ways to connect with more people. Right?
Not really. I'm not going out and like actively dating.
Okay, not actually, but the people that you're with maybe right now, you don't see yourself getting married to them in 10 years, right? Maybe you do, maybe you don't, right? But let's just say like right now, again, if you're actively talking to people, if you're not considering getting married to the people you're already talking to.
They know I'm not.
But that means you're going to talk to more people if your obvious goal is to get married, right? And so by connecting with more people, you have to have a strategy behind it, right? And a strategy that's going to work a little bit better to get married, to have the family, to be that happy person that doesn't ever get a divorce, and there has to be certain expectations and certain
there definitely is expectations, which is why I don't commit to these people.
Yeah,
and I'm not searching if that's what you're asking.
Look, at the end of the day, I just want to make sure I bring this back down for all the ladies, right? At the end of the day, for me personally, I believe that I want everybody to be. I believe families is the foundation of a great society. If you look at a great society, it always comes down to good families. When you have good families, the community is good, the people are good, the children have the future for the generation is good, and the country is good, right? So I think, like I said, this conversation is for me is just I just want to make sure that like everything in life, and I have this conversation. I see this with my younger siblings, right? That the outcome that they want. And that's the difference. Like I said, I'm traditional. I don't believe in modern dating because modern dating, it doesn't.
Trash.
Yeah, right.
Trash.
Because they're
like, why do you think I have such low expectations? Because I don't expect anything.
No, I don't believe you. I didn't say you had low expectations. I said the process that you're using to find the outcome.
But I'm not looking. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like I get what you're saying, but I'm not looking.
Right.
No, but I asked you, what is the ultimate outcome? Like a lot of people would say, I don't want to date now, but eventually you want to date.
Right. Eventually,
exactly.
but definitely not now.
I know, but at some point you have to do it.
Yeah.
I think it goes back to that whole age thing that I told you, or just experience in life. Like, I went through something where it didn't work out and I had to take a certain,
but it's okay to not be ready to commit.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think, you get to a point, at least I did. I got to a point where like I had to step back and be like, you know what? I shouldn't be dating because I need to work on myself. I need to figure out what I needed to do. Took a good maybe 7 months off of like completely just even interacting with anybody other than my friends and family, and then came back to it and was like, okay, these are the things that I want, these are the things that I expect out of my life and out of a partner. And if those people that I'm eventually going to go in and meet and talk to and interact with aren't on the same page as me, I don't even want to deal with that. Like I took away the sex, I took away the hanging out, I took away all those things until I eventually ran into somebody or will run into somebody that's going to be on the same page and wavelength and do that. But again, I think it just goes back to that, having to go through that realization yourself and having to go through that work within yourself.
Yeah, you have to be ready.
To be ready. I don't think anybody is gonna fall into your lap, but I definitely think that you can get yourself to a point where you feel like you will be able to attract that.
I feel like I am able to attract that. Number one, I have a great career. I'm very happy with where I'm at in my life.
Yeah.
Number two, like I'm very big on family. Like I love my daughter. She's the most important thing to me.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm focused on.
Right.
If you add to that, great.
Right.
But I'm not searching.
Yeah.
I'm just not at this point. It's been disappointing. I tried dating.
Yeah.
It was disappointing. And so this is reality. Like
let me bring it. Let me ask you this, because I believe in intention, right? Anything you want in life, right? You have to, like we talk about manifestation, right?
Yeah.
But you have to have intentions behind it, right? Or the things that you guys want will never manifest itself. So the thing is, for me, is you said that you're not searching, but the outcome that you want is family, strong husband, and children. What happens if you run into the guy that is the person for you, but you're not in that situation and you're not ready? Does that make sense?
Then it's okay. It's okay to not be ready.
Okay.
What if you're ready eventually? It's okay to not be ready. I don't think you should jump into anything if you're not ready.
Yeah.
Because how can I give you my all if I'm not ready?
I don't think it's a matter of being ready, but like I said, I think it still comes down to the dating where we disagree on what the purpose it is, but that's what the vetting process is. It's just because, like you said, that's where you have to.
But you're not understanding. It is a vetting process. You're separating yes and no. You're either a yes or you're a no.
Yeah.
There's a man in my life who is a yes. There's a man in my life who is a no.
What are the qualities that you know for sure that this is a yes?
He's what's the word? He when he says something, he follows through.
Okay.
So I guess accountability.
Okay.
Commitment.
Okay.
But that's not something that you can explain. That's an action.
Exactly. Okay.
That's an action.
That's a good one.
That's an action. That's not something like some guy could be like, oh my God, I love you, this and that. He's texting me, but he's inconsistent. I'm not gonna take you seriously.
Oh, okay. That's fair. That's fair. So accountability is one of them. Anything else?
That's why I'm saying I'm not out here to pick. I'm not out here. That's just not. I'm not looking.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we move on to the next topic, I want to ask you guys. Okay, it's good, and because we talk about modern dating. So traditionally, back in the day, right, when a man had to approach a woman, he had to meet the father, right? And usually, the conversation the dad had with the man is like, "What do you do for your job? How are you going to provide, protect my daughter?" So you had those types of conversations. What's your finances look like? Where do you live? All right. Do you have a shack or do you have a whole ass house? Because my daughter ain't living in no shack.
Yeah.
So this is the conversations that men.
But I'm not gonna rely on a man to provide for my daughter. I already have my own shit.
No, I understand that. So when the father had the conversation with the man, the father would go over everything with that man to make sure that he is ready. He has everything in place before he gives away his daughter, right?
Right.
To make sure he's strong. He wants to be a provider, protector. He has some kind of finances. He's healthy physically, right? And of course that he has a plan for the future, and he has a place, and then he gives his daughter.
Right.
But what I want to ask you is, and then of course he's ready to put that ring on the finger, right?
Right.
You're not dating my daughter. You guys gonna meet.
You're courting towards marriage.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
right? So that was the process with the traditional dating. So when I want to pass it to you, ladies, is what is the process now with the modern day? How can you do that with casual dating to get the same results that the fathers traditionally did back in the day?
I feel like you can't.
I mean, I actually had to do that before with like dating wise, like any like really serious relationship, which has been like 2 of them.
Mhm.
They've had to meet my dad, and they've had to go through that process to be able to kind of coexist with my family. So you obviously date first, you get to know them, you get to see like this is somebody that you potentially want to bring around your family.
Yeah.
And once they kind of pass that stage where you feel comfortable enough, then you bring them around your family. The first one was a long-term relationship that I was in within 5 years. He got to meet my family maybe a year and a half, 2 years into that, and then coexisted with my family. And it was great. Unfortunately, things didn't work out, but you know what I mean? It did have to go through that process. Same thing with the second relationship. Same thing. They had to go through my dad, and my dad had to be like, hey, you know what? Like, because to me, family is a big thing. If you cannot fit into my family, we can not like.
If you don't mind me asking, when your dad met them, did he ever recommend to you like, I don't know about this one?
The first one he didn't. He really, really liked. Actually, the 5-year one. He actually got to go to El Salvador with my family.
Right.
Yeah. It just ended up not working out because we wanted 2 different things. I wanted marriage, I wanted kids, I wanted all these things, and he was kind of like, I don't want that quite yet.
But see that supports my traditional dating, because you're not gonna wait 5 years to get an answer.
Right.
Get the answer right now before we proceed.
Exactly. And again, it was that mentality of me being what I was like maybe 19, 20 when I met this person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I had this delusion of like, this person's going to change eventually, when it never did. Unfortunately, my family really liked him, and it was that a problem. The second relationship was with my son's father. That was a situation where like I got into it again with this delusional mentality that things were just going to work out.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad did not like him. My dad was very much like, I don't think this is a relationship for you. And my entire family was like that. But again, I was in a situation where I had a child with this person, tried to make it work. I did the best that I could, I think, in that relationship. Unfortunately, at the end, it just didn't work out.
Mm-hmm. It happens. That's what I'm trying to say.
And it happened. I wish it would have, for the sake of my son.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I knew it was never going to go towards anything after that. And it is what it is. But that's why I think family is such a huge portion of it. I think that's why family should always have a say in your relationships, because at the end of the day, they see what you don't see. When you're in a relationship, you're so blinded by
you have that love. That
exactly.
I don't agree with that.
Love, right?
I don't agree with that, just because my family was very toxic, and I actually would rather them stay as
want
far away from me as
you want the
possible.
opinion. You want the opinion with the good people, not the toxic.
Definitely.
Not the toxic.
I grew up in a very different environment. I actually I rarely talk to my mom, rarely talk to my family.
Yeah.
And there's reasons why I don't. And so that's not possible for me.
Yeah.
That's not realistic for me.
And also, you want the opinion of people who are still married, not the
Right,
single,
right,
not the
right.
single family members.
And I think that was a big thing for me. My parents have been married for 34 plus years. They haven't had the best marriage, because I cannot say that they have. They had their ups, they had their downs. And so when I was in that relationship with my son's father, that was a mentality that I had. I will make it work no matter what.
Right. But you don't always have to.
We don't have to, right? But it was very much my mentality. My partner's mentality was not.
Oh, so you didn't have the same values?
We did not. We did not.
Okay.
Two
So that
different
makes sense. So that
values.
makes
I
sense.
came from
Okay.
traditional. He came from very non-traditional. So for him, it was very much like, I need to get out because this isn't feeling right. I need to get out. Where for me, it was very much like, I'm willing to work, but it didn't correlate the same
If
way.
you guys didn't have the same values, or like, what made you keep trying? If
The fact that we had our son.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. All right. No worries. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much on the live chat. Shout out to you guys who's watching right now. Okay. See Salote Natasha Balafest, as always. Thank you so much for the live chat. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Press that like button, and then of course press that. What's that? All right, I'm offended if you're not pressing that like button.
It's different when you really
offended.
like don't give a fuck though. Like
I'm
I
offended,
could
all
care
right.
less what these people have to say.
No,
Like I know what works for my life,
Yeah.
and I'm realistic about
So
my
let
expectations.
me just finish the
I'm
live
just
chats.
realistic.
Let me just finish the chats, and then we'll definitely go back right into it. Okay. I see White Knight here for the first time. Shout out to you. All right, White Knight. I could tell that the girl in the gray didn't have a loving childhood. SMH.
Oh, I didn't. I
All right.
absolutely didn't.
All right, no worries. White Knight, thank you so much for being here for the first time. And June Bug, I think that's the first time I've seen you on here. All right, appreciate you guys. June Bug, makes sense why she had a bad attitude towards relationship, makes bad decisions with dating. All right, no worries. That's your opinion. All right, nevertheless, like I said, appreciate you guys on here on the live chat. Here for the first time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys on here. And like I said, if you guys want to be part of if you want to support me financially, drop a super chat donation, and we can definitely make it happen. All right. I just want to say one thing, and then we can close it, and then we can move on to the next topic.
Yeah, okay.
Ultimately, I want all you ladies to get that outcome that you want. You guys get the
100%.
good man. I want you guys to have beautiful children, and you guys have a committed relationship that you guys live happily ever after, right? A lot of times when we have these conversations, and here's a hard truth a lot of ladies have to understand. The men who are not committed to, that's why I believe in the vetting process and the traditional dating. If the men who don't have the same intentions for you, they will lie like a motherfucker.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
All
But
right?
you can
And
see
they
right
will
through that if
imitate.
you know.
They will imitate whatever you want
Yeah,
just to
exactly.
get what they want. And these guys are good at it. All right.
Right. Yeah.
Especially with the culture today that reinforces those behaviors, right? Like I told you guys before, with the modern, I think Danny brought it up.
Yeah.
What casual dating has done is given these guys a ground where they can just waste your time. So the guys
That's what you allow.
yeah. So the guys that have they don't want to get married with you. All they want is sex, and that's it. They love this casual dating culture. They love women saying, "Oh, I don't need."
But that's
commitment.
what the woman
I'm not looking."
allows. That's not something. That's not.
Yeah.
It's not
So,
true for
let-
every
I'll
situation.
just let me just finish my point, and then we'll pass it back on. But a lot of times, like I said, because ladies, I know you guys are very emotional. So sometimes when you emotionally connect with the guy, they're saying all the right things or pretending to show you the things that you guys want to hear, and you see the potential in him. A lot of you guys, get that blind love, get the honeymoon phase. All right, maybe your family members or your father telling you, "Hey, leave her, sis."
Right.
All right, but because you emotionally connect with them. So there's only three. I've had this conversation multiple times. We have a panel with men. It's called the Masculine Mind, and we talk about how men become stronger, how men can be good masculine men and be strong providers. There's only three qualities that you need to look for in a man, and if you can find these three qualities in a man, regardless of what he says, this is the absolute vetting process that you can use. All you need is these qualities, and Gabby said the first one: accountability.
Right.
All right. If you find a man that's accountable, that means everything he tells you he's gonna do, he's gonna come through. So if he's inconsistent, then he's wasting your time. Men who are committed to you, if they really want to be part of you, they'll make it happen. And Danny, you already know this, right? If we want you, we're gonna make it happen. We're goal oriented, and we want something, we make it happen as men. All right. So men that are just making excuses, and one of the biggest problems I hear from a lot of women is like they always making excuses, they're always inconsistent, and they're always blaming them instead of taking accountability for their actions. All right. They'll gaslight you, they'll manipulate you, they'll blame you for the issues, and they'll take accountability for themselves. So if you just find a man that's accountable, number two, you want a man that's resilient. All right. You don't want a coward, right? You don't want a bitch. All right. Because relationship is hard. If you talk to people who are in successful relationships, what they always say, it is hard and a lot of work. All right. But they overcome it. right? Because they have the same intentions and goals and values, and they have the same outcome of what they want.
Right.
So you want a man that's resilient. You don't want a guy that's afraid. You don't want a guy that's when things get hard, they give out. That's why I don't believe the casual relationships work, because when they're done with you, because there's no commitment that has been agreed upon, they can just leave.
Yeah.
Right. So you want a guy that you know for sure that when things get hard, because you're gonna have some good times, but there's also some bad times. But even the bad times, when you need him the most, he steps up.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. But a lot of times when you find these weak men, when they need him the most, what happens?
They run
Yeah.
out.
They
That's
run.
why
Yeah.
you
Gotta go.
make it
They gotta
happen.
go.
Mr. Make It Happen does
Right.
exist.
All right. They all go back to the streets. All right. They all go back to the streets. So you want a man that's resilient. I got
Yeah.
you, baby. No matter thick and thin, I'm gonna be here for you. And he's
Right.
accountable, short. And the last thing, guys, discipline. You
Right.
just want a guy that's disciplined. He's consistent.
Yeah.
He has certain behaviors, like I said. He has certain habits because consistency is very important for you,
Right.
right? So if a guy that's disciplined, that he has discipline, pretty much what it is self-control, right? He has self-control to go to wake up every single day, go to work, right? When you guys have issues or arguments, he can control himself, so you can have that communication, right? When things get hard, he can overcome it, and of course, loyalty is big, right? When
Right.
we live in a dating culture and with the Instagram, social media apps, right? Just when things get hard, he's already looking for another woman,
Right.
right? So you want a guy that has self-control, right? That has discipline.
Yeah.
Right? So
big.
he's totally committed to you.
But you'll know
Yeah.
when a man has all of those things.
So those are the only three qualities that you look for: accountability, resiliency, and discipline. Shout out to Balafessa. Balafessa was the one. He's been married for 7 years with his wife. And I always love to talk to married people because I always want to figure out what are you doing, because obviously something's working for you.
Something's
that
working.
Most people aren't getting. And when you talk to these married people, they all say the same thing. It is hard as fuck.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Right? But we
Right.
have the same values, we have the same goals, and we have the same commitment to each other.
Right.
Yeah, right. And they all said that not 2 years or 5 years later. They said that in the very beginning. This is
Right.
how it is. This is what's gonna be. Are you in and out?
Yeah.
All right. And if you're with the right person, they're all in.
Right.
Right. They're not gonna
Yeah,
make an-
you
they're
know,
not
though.
gonna- They're not gonna make an excuse. Right. So nevertheless, appreciate you guys as watching. Just want to share that. Danny, anything you want to add on to that?
No.
Danny, you haven't talked at all.
I know you've been so quiet.
I've been listening, honestly.
Well, what's your opinion on everything that we talked about?
I believe the same kind of things. It will. Like one thing I tell you, my forefront is loyalty,
Right.
right? Like loyalty and honesty, right? I think kind of they go hand in hand with each other.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
I
they
think
do.
if you're loyal to the person, you're resilient. Like Will said, you're accountable.
Yeah.
You know, you have these traits that are kind of
Yeah.
bringing you towards more of a relationship with that person you're with, right? Because when you're in a relationship with somebody, it's 3 relationships. It's your relationship with yourself, that other person's relationship with themselves, and a relationship with each other, right? And so you have to always work on all 3. And so there's not just one thing you're working on. You're always working on yourself. Obviously, their person's always working on themselves, but working on each other together is going to be the hardest part.
Right.
Right.
That's going to be the part that's
Gonna make or break
Yep.
the relationship.
yeah, and like Will said, it's hard work. Every person in a long-term relationship will tell you it is hard work. There are times where you're like, I don't have enough hair because it's pulling out. You know? Just kidding. But there are times, right, where you get to a point where you're elevated in emotions, right? But you have to understand how to diffuse that. Other person has to help you kind of get to the part where you can be calm together and make rational decisions that are going to not only better yourself, but better each other's relationships.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I'm telling you, those 3 qualities can build everything you want in a man.
Yeah.
Man, a good career, family oriented. If he has those, that's that foundation. And like every house needs a foundation. Not no foundation. It's gonna fall
Right.
apart.
Right.
You get those 3 qualities, I promise you, he's gonna fulfill all your dreams and potential that you want out of him. He's gonna make it happen. I've never met a man that didn't have those 3 qualities that actually became a good man and family man. The men that I hear a lot of women complain about that all men are trash. It's a man that's accountable.
It's just most men. It's not
resilient.
all men.
Not resilient. Yeah, all those weak men out there. But a man that's not disciplined.
Yeah.
Right? So if you get those 3 qualities, I promise you, keep that man and make it happen.
all day.
Will, do you
Absolutely.
think that those type of men are very common or very uncommon in this age?
in
this age?
In this age of modern
Yeah.
society, no, it's uncommon.
It's uncommon. It's very
uncommon.
uncommon.
Maybe
They're
go to a different
rare.
country where it's more traditional, it's different.
Right,
but in
right.
America,
No.
But
Unfortunately.
that's why, because of that, and if you understand that vetting process has to
happen.
You
Right.
gotta be on point with that vetting process. You can't
Right.
just let any man in your life. Especially like I said, these guys like they go. I'm telling you, this is the easiest time for men to figure out how to be fake with you because they go on social media, they read orders, they see what
Right.
you eat, they see what ladies. You like to
But
post
why
everything
even let
that-
them pass those boundaries? You have to have boundaries.
No, what I'm saying is the social media gives them information to imitate what you want, so
What
they can
you-
get
yeah.
back to you. So if you say everything you eat, oh, okay, I'm gonna buy a ticket to this place. All right. If you say my goals are this, oh, I just found my goals.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
They just go based on yours.
and
you
that's
post this
yeah,
publicly.
right.
It's a public account. You post
Yeah.
this publicly. It's just so easy for them, right? But that's why that's why the values is different, because you can't fake
Right.
value. You can't fake
Right.
accountability. You can't fake resiliency. You can't fake discipline. You have to show it.
Right.
Right.
Okay. All right. But nevertheless, yeah. Let's move. I have some reaction videos we can react to. All right.
Go for it.
So these are videos I saw on social media, and of course, once we're done with the reaction videos, I'm gonna pass it back to you guys. I know maybe you guys have some topics that you guys want to bring up. All right, and you guys can ask and we can discuss it. All right, but nevertheless, I gotta give a shout out to you guys. Woo, we have some.
Let's go.
We gotta get a drink.
Let's get some Kava.
Get some-
Y'all want some Kava?
Well,
Yes, please.
Everybody get some Kava. Get
You
the
get
bowls
Kava,
out.
and you'll get Kava.
Hey, you guys are doing good. You guys are killing on this podcast. You guys
Hey.
are killing already.
Thank you.
We want what the people want.
Got
What do you guys want?
the. I remember in San Jose. What do we say in San Jose? Eat.
Eat or be
Yeah.
eaten.
Oh.
It'll be in.
Eat or be
And we
eaten,
always
folks.
eat.
Exactly.
And we always eat.
You always eat. All right.
Thank you, my friend.
Oh, thank you. Are we gonna cheers?
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
guys.
All right. All right. No worries. All right. So I have some reaction videos for you guys. And then we're gonna turn up after this. Okay.
Turn up. He's taking a shot.
We'll be taking shots after
Thank
this.
goodness.
All right. But yeah, I have some reaction videos of videos that I saw online. So I want to play some of them. It's just some the modern dating that we see today. So we're gonna react to it. So the first thing I want to react to, real quick, it's the.
I think we watched that one. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Uh,
My bad. I got ahead of myself.
Right.
You're funny. No.
Not that one. Will's like, give me some time to
Okay,
the video.
this is a good one. I know this is gonna be a spicy topic. I know, ladies, you guys definitely want to hear this.
I'm gonna
Okay?
jump. No.
hold on. Okay.
Put all the comments.
All right. Nevertheless, yeah. Let me play this video. Let me know what you guys think. I'm gonna play this video and let me know if this is facts or this is false.
Able to be friends with your ex, you're either never in love with them or you are still in love with them.
Oh, friends with exes. Being friends with your ex.
Dun dun dun.
All right. All right.
I'm still friends with all my exes.
So
Stop it.
all right. So pretty much what he said, that if you're still friends with the ex, either your ex didn't love you or you're still in love with them.
I think
All
we're
right.
just better friends than we were dating.
All right.
So you didn't
So
love him.
let's open the conversation. Let's open up that conversation, right? Because a lot of people, a lot of people will say that if you're friends with the ex, that's a red flag.
Right.
But that's because that's still a door that can potentially open again.
My ex
Right.
is not gonna be a contributing factor to the downfall.
The
of my
only
next
the
relationship.
only caveat I would put for that is if you have a baby, if it's a baby mama or baby daddy, you always have a relationship with
Right.
him because,
Agreed.
like I said, he's a biological
I
father
have
and
big
mother.
boundaries with my baby daddy.
Yeah.
I block him when I don't have to talk
Yeah.
to him because there's the boundary where you cannot contact me. Like
Yeah.
you don't have access to me unless it's about my daughter.
Yeah.
So if I'm with her,
Yeah.
you don't need to have contact with me.
So that's the only time I was like, oh, that's okay, because you have to have a relationship
There-
because that's the
there's-
father's.
you have to
because
have
the brothers,
boundaries,
right? Yeah,
though.
but you have to have boundaries, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm talking
Yes.
about like if you're both single, no kids, and you're still friends with him or friends with her.
That's a no.
So what do you? So let's bring it to the ladies. Let's bring it to the ladies. Of course, everybody in the live chat. Let me know what you guys think. Okay, but I'll start with you, Gina. Gina, what are your thoughts about still being friends with your ex?
I wouldn't say like I'm friends with them because we don't have like constant conversations of like how
Yeah.
are you, how are you doing.
Yeah.
I think if we were to see each other like down the street, it'd be like, hey, how are you doing? Great, good for you. Move on,
Yeah.
type of thing. I think the relationship with, like you said, with my son's father, we don't have one, and I kind of like it that way.
Yeah.
Because it's very separated. He does what he does, I do what I do. Nobody questions it, and we live our lives. As long
Mhm.
as our child is happy, we're good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're good.
Okay. Dude, when you date him, the next man that you're gonna date with intention. Okay. If he has if he's still friends with his ex, like, is that a red flag for you?
Depends. Depends on the relationship. So if it's cordial, it's cordial.
Like they're still talking every day.
I wouldn't like
no.
that. I would
don't-
not like that.
Yeah.
I think that that's disrespectful in a sense
is.
Yeah.
because why is it that you feel so comfortable with this person? If things didn't work out, they didn't work out. That's a relationship that you should probably let go. I'm not gonna tell you to be mean to them.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't want this person knowing what the hell is going on between
Yeah.
you and I.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? That's
And do you think that if they're still friends with their ex, that they still have feelings for that person?
definitely. There's
Yeah.
always going to be. That's natural.
Yeah.
That's human. Yeah.
Especially
nature.
especially if they're still talking to him every day. right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. If they're talking every single day, they're having conversations. If they know that I'm even in the freaking picture, like you should probably go back and talk to that person because obviously there's still something that needs to be figured out there.
Okay. All right. No worries. Thank you so much, Gina. I'll pass it to you. Kate. What are your thoughts about friends with exes?
I mean, I feel like I'm friends with a lot of my exes. Well, some of those. So I don't.
Let me drink for that.
Let me drink.
Yeah.
Let me start drinking right now. Right?
Sorry.
Stir the pot. No.
I know. Stir the pot.
Whoa.
Okay.
I'm stuck in the middle.
Explain yourself. Okay. Why
I'm
are you still friends with all your exes?
Got him.
I feel like a lot of the relationships that I had is like they never ended like in a bad situation, like where I'm like I can't talk to you. It's just like either things just didn't work out, but it's just like if like Gina said, if you say hi to me, like I'm not gonna ignore you or whatever, I'm still gonna say hi.
Yeah.
And it's just I don't know. Since I was already comfortable with them, and it's just it doesn't hurt me to say like hi or anything like
I
that.
have to ask you this question. If one of those exes you're still friends with asked you to get back with them, is there one of them that's potentially like you might go back with them?
Maybe.
That's why. That is why. That's why. Oh, all right.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I mean, that's why, that's you're taking a risk if you're still friends, because like I said, it's still an open door. It's still an open door. All right, no worries. Thank you. Go ahead.
No, I was saying, I don't believe you can be friends with your ex at all, right?
No, yeah.
Not at all, right?
At all.
It's almost like when you break off a relationship as a friendship, right? There's, and you guys have friends that you not are friends with anymore, right? And those people, even if you saw them in person, you might be cordial. And I'm not saying to be rude to anyone.
Right.
I don't believe you should be saying hi if you don't associate with that person. But I am saying if you don't have a relationship with that person anymore, it's determined that I don't have a relationship for a reason with you.
Right.
And so there's no point, just kind of like I don't say hi to everybody when I'm walking down the street. There's no point in me saying hi to an ex in the street unless I want to be cordial in that way. I want him to, or I want that person to believe that I'm still I'm still on a level enough where it's cordial, you know? And I don't believe that you can be friends with the ex because again, like if you're extinguishing a relationship or you're stopping a relationship, there is no further development of that relationship that needs to be. And so I shouldn't, not that I shouldn't have your number, but I really shouldn't have your number. You know, there should be no reason I need to contact you for anything unless it's I have a obligation with you, which is like a child, right? A child is an obligation that you have with that person.
Yeah.
And so I have to contact you, or I don't know, you're my boss. You know, I have to.
You're my boss. Why would you be dating your boss? You dated your boss.
All right.
No.
Just kidding. Go, Danny.
You know? But in all honesty, if you have a relationship with someone that is stopped or extinguished, any word you want to use, that you do not believe you should be pursuing or involved with that person anymore, there should be no reason that person is in your life at all. And there should be because the only thing you're going to remember, and your brain does this to yourself subconsciously, is you only remember the good things, right? Your brain does this all, unless it's super, 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 super bad emotional damage, right? Your brain remembers the good things. You're going to remember, oh, it was nice to have a person to walk down the grass with.
Especially if you had a long relationship. Especially if you had a long relationship.
You're only going to remember the good things, right? Because that person, and you're going to have a lot of good moments, just like you had bad moments, but your brain's going to go, hey, well, I don't remember the bad things.
I think that's a delusion.
It is, right? But a lot of people, even in the relationships, when the people are physically abusive, right, in a relationship, that person usually gets back with that person because of one thing. It's because they believe they love that person. The delusion comes in where they don't remember the physical beating they got.
Exactly.
You know, male or
they
female.
don't want to acknowledge it.
Yeah, they're like, oh, well, that person was just mad. It was just this one time. And so I believe if you're in any relationship, if you have an ex, even an ex-friend, you shouldn't be talking to that person ever again.
Yes, sir.
It should be, hey, there's 3 billion people. I'm gonna find another person to make a friend with.
And that's boundaries. That's on boundaries.
And that's boundaries. You know.
Yep. All right. No worries. Thank you for sharing that, Danny.
Yep.
Let me pass it to Gabby. Gabby, what are your thoughts about should you used to be friends with your ex?
I think I do have an ex who like I talk to like maybe once a year. Like we're very cordial.
Okay.
I don't think like we're necessarily friends. Like it's just like cordial. Like I'm not gonna be rude to you. I'm not gonna be mean to you. But when I need you, I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna be like, hey, what's up? Like this is what I got going on. Like, what do you think? Because he's a professional. You know what I mean? Like people are useful in their own ways. Not that I use people for things like that, but I know when I need something, he's gonna be there and he's gonna do his best to help me out.
Understandable, but is that?
But we're not friends. We're not FaceTiming. We're not calling each other. If I do end up in a committed relationship, he's definitely not going to be a factor in that relationship, and that's just on boundaries.
Yeah, but he's still an outlet in your phone, correct? Like a backdoor. So
I mean, if I'm in a committed relationship, then to be quite frank with you, I'm not attracted to my ex. To be 100%, there would be no way that I would be hitting him up for
anything,
for her hooking up with him or anything romantic. That just would, it's not a fact. I'm not attracted to him. So to me, that's not, it's not even a possibility. But if it makes my partner uncomfortable that I have his phone number in my phone, it's deleted. It's gone.
So even though you're not attracted to your ex, what value does he serve in your life?
Well, number one, he produces music, and I actually used to make music.
Okay.
So he has a production studio. He has a whole team that helps him with what he does, and he has helped me create music before, which is nice. Like I said, we're very cordial. We have a great time when we're together, but it's nothing romantic.
Okay,
It's
so more like a business thing.
Definitely. And like, if I know if I ever needed anything, he would be there and be like, hey, like I'll help you out.
Yeah. And I guess that's kind of to the extent of.
But he's not attracted to me. I'm not attracted to him. Like I would never. We probably broke up about 7 years ago, and since then there has been no, and we've had a consistent friendship. There's been no like romantic. It's been just consistent like friendship.
No, it's understandable, but the biggest thing is I'm saying is like that man that was in your life, he still was able to be in your life in an intimate way.
Oh,
right?
he can't. No,
he was though.
He was
previously.
Right? But if I'm in a new relationship, he will not be a factor in that relationship.
Yeah, until that relationship's over, right? And then that person becomes a useful person.
I mean, I wouldn't hit him up after a relationship. I would rather much look for somebody else.
Okay. Yeah.
Danny, you know me, I'm very direct.
Yep.
Right? I'm very direct. So if I wanted to have sex with you or pursue a relationship with you, that conversation would have already been happening. Okay. Most men are not direct. Okay. So they play the long game. Okay. So we're friends. I guess I'm not saying men and women cannot be friends. Right. What I'm saying is for most men who are not a direct men, they'll play the other game. Okay. Right. So they'll just put you at usually for those types of men, those are the types of men that most women put on the friend zone. And then those are the types of men that they're just waiting for you to give them that opportunity, and then they're gonna have sex with you.
Why is women being smart enough to separate the two not a factor though?
Because
number one, I automatically know when someone's being genuine or not. I get the vibe. Like no matter what anybody says, I catch the vibe. That's just the reality. I catch the vibe.
Yeah, but vibes can be
off, but I'm not gonna.
You might. What I'm saying is, you might catch a vibe that he wants you to catch, right? In those cases.
I totally get that. But I'm old enough to know when someone is genuine or not. I've been on the other end of that. I've been the liar. I've been the one doing the grooming. You know, like just kind of like, oh, I want you to like me to do this and this for me. I've been on that side. So why is women being aware of how things actually work not a factor in the conversation?
It is a factor. I mean, you might
but it's not, because
you might want the same thing in that relationship, right? Even if it's a friendship, you might want to have sex with that other person, right? Because that might be what you care for.
Maybe I want to have sex with him, maybe I don't.
Yeah, that's fine, right? Maybe you do, maybe you don't.
But do you feel that I want to have sex with you?
The point I guess that he's kind of bringing up is, right, the most men, and we're not talking about the extremes, because me and Will are kind of like.
But he didn't say most men. He said a man
will not be correct. I'll correct myself. Most men, right?
And
Most men are gonna.
But you didn't say
we
that.
can't speak for 100%, right?
Yeah,
but we are
when-
talking
when I-
majority.
when I say men and women, I'm not saying
We're
And
talking
I'm
majority.
speaking from just my point of view.
Understandable. And we're talking majority of men will more likely be in your life for it's really two reasons. The first one is the most common one is to have sex with you if it's the opposite sex, right? Or the desired sex of that person.
Yeah.
The second one, right, is because there is a reason that adds value to that person's life, right? The man might have you in his life for a reason, right? You might, again, like you said, you have a guy in your life that does music. He does different things. And he is a person that you've been intimate with in the past before. You have him in your life for one reason. It's to pursue music. It's to pursue career goals, business goals, right? And so those are the two perspectives. But majority of men, if you're having a relationship with a female that is just a friendship, it's because that friendship they're hoping eventually leads to an intimate relationship. Even if it's just one time, even if it's just 10 times, they're hoping that. Unless again, there's other related things, other values, right? They want you maybe for, a business venture, but more likely 95% of the time, right?
Here's the thing.
I just think we should. It's not black and white, so we
It's
shouldn't
not.
act like it is.
But majority of the time, it can be.
But we
deciphered
shouldn't
as
act like
black
it
and white.
is.
Okay, I'll give you an example.
Let's be
right?
realistic.
Let's say you're on a highway, right? You're speeding. You're going 90
On the
miles.
highway?
You're on the highway. You're
Okay.
speeding. You're going 90 miles per hour, and it's a 65. You get pulled over, and the cop's like, "Hey, were you speeding?" You're like, "Yes, I was speeding, but the person I'm with is in labor." It's not black and white, right? It's not black and white that you shouldn't have been speeding, but you were speeding, right? You still deserve that ticket, but I might give you a police escort too as well, right? But it's still, we have to consider it black and white because the majority of the time that someone's speeding,
It's not black and white. Life is not black and white.
yeah, I know,
Realistically.
but we do live in
We can sit here and pretend like it is.
We live
but
in a situation-
Realistically, nowadays life is unethical.
I agree.
Let's be real.
Would you believe though?
Everyone has their own opinions, and it's not black and white. I don't live my life black and white. I'm reasonable, and I understand that shit is the way it is, and sometimes you can't change it.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's no. So you gotta either number one adapt and set your boundaries, or we can just pretend like we're all in la la land and that everyone has to be the same.
I agree with you on that, but I guess what I'm saying for you is, do you understand that like life has social constructs, right? That we build as a society, right? There's constructs that we expect men to do certain things, we expect women to do certain things. When relationships, we expect people to do certain things, we expect,
But why
the other way around.
why the
But-
expectations? If someone wants to do something, they're gonna do it.
Well, it's because that's what society has. Us for
But
us, right?
that's what I'm saying. I don't live by expectations. If someone wants to do something, they're gonna do it. I could be the best girlfriend in the world, like I was
But-
telling you earlier. I could be the worst girlfriend in the world. If someone wants to cheat, they're gonna cheat. I can do anything. I can do everything right, and you'll still cheat. So how am I gonna live by these expectations when in real it's not realistic?
Well, that's what everyone says, right? About that's kind of like
It's
the law,
not
right?
realistic. It's just
not
not.
realistic
We
to
can
tell.
sit here and pretend like it is.
It's not realistic though to tell like someone that's crazy to not go out and do something that's crazy, right?
It's not. No.
But it's the law. It's the way we live our life. It's the society we live in, and those are things that we can't change. We can't change the society we live in. We can't change.
I don't think we
the
have to
constructs.
necessarily live by societal constructs.
We don't, but I'm saying if you're in the market right now to invest into someone or to find a relationship with someone, you have to live by the rules of the game.
I'm definitely not in the market, but I do.
Eventually, right? Intent is eventually to, of course, get
Intent
married.
is eventually, but there are people, whether you believe it or not, that are Mr. Take care of it, even if I'm not ready, and I'm 100% honest with them.
Yeah.
And I'm not having, like I said, I'm only having sex with one person. It's been 3 years that I've been having sex with the same person. I'm not looking for anything else. I'm not looking for other dick anywhere else. It's just like, life is not black and white. Me and my baby daddy were together for 3 years. It did not work out.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to sit there and pretend like I'm going to be happy continuing to try to work this out. It's not realistic, and I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to make my life harder because society wants me to be with that person.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. The producer, your friend producer, right? If you talked to him directly and told him, or maybe you texted him at like 2:00 in the morning and be like, "Hey, come over."
I'm sorry, my ex.
Well, the
Yes.
music, yeah, the ex.
That's her ex.
That's her ex. Okay.
The music producer.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
If
okay.
you would have, if you reach out to him and call him, "Hey, come over to my crib right now. I want to have sex." Do you think he'll reject it?
Probably, yeah. We're not.
Okay.
It's sex is Yeah,
If
no.
it's 2 o'clock in the morning, calling, hey, come over. What, give him the what you
He would probably be like, I'm asleep. He's an old man.
Okay. Well, what if you tell him tomorrow, come at 2 o'clock in the morning?
It's not like that.
Okay. Well, like I said,
I can have sex with anybody I want, but
I'm pretty sure.
Like that's not. I'm not. It's off limits. We're off limits for each other, and there's reasons why we're not together.
Yeah.
And why we would not try to work things out.
Well, like I said, just coming from like I said, we see things differently, and that's okay. But I'm saying for most men, we know for a fact, and that's why for us, like when we find a good woman that we want to wife up long term, we're very territorial because we understand men can be like dogs. There's certain men out there that are very aggressive. They'll just come up to you like, hey, "What's up, girl? I want to have sex with you. What you doing?"
Right.
I'm sure you guys find those types of men on the streets.
Right, of course.
But there's a lot of guys out there that don't have that same kind of assertiveness. So what they'll do is they'll just play that friendship role and then hope eventually if they get close enough to you and then something happens, they have an opportunity. But I would argue that most times those guys, if you give them the opportunity, like, hey, I want to have sex with you, I will bet that 99% of those guys will take you up on it.
I want to answer a question. Natasha has a question. If sleeping with a guy for 3 years, has he made an attempt to cuff you? 100%. He has made so many attempts, and I have denied him so many times. He owns businesses. His mindset is not where I need him to be. So therefore, we can never be together. But you're good for one thing. If it's broken, I'm not going to fix it. You're still giving me what I need. That's fine. But I'm not going to commit to you, and I'm not going to pretend like I am. Like, he very much knows what the fuck it is. And maybe he's not happy about it.
Yeah.
But he's a grown-ass man. He needs to get the fuck over it.
I guess the best way to define this, because you did get me because you're like, we're friends, right? But here's the thing. The best way.
This is Will didn't want to tell her they're not.
No, this is the no. This is the
like fuck.
No,
damn.
This is the best way to do it. This is the best. No, this is the best way to explain. Look, I'm friends with Gatia, right? I'm friends with Gina. I just made some new friends today, right? Does that mean I want to fuck both of you guys right now, right? So, guys, at the end of the day, we can be friends. Women and men can be friends. But the thing is, if men are going out their way, like I have female friends, right? But I have no aspirations for them to have sex with them because I don't. Like I said, I'm only gonna go. I want a relationship.
Right.
I have an outcome I want to get, and the bidding process of what I do is that's the most important to me. But at the end of the day, if guys are taking, for me, is like if a girl hits me up like, hey, I'm gonna start a podcast. I need your help.
Right.
All right. If I'm gonna go out my way to help her, all right.
Because there's something there.
There's something there.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go out my way to help something if I'm not gonna get something in return.
Girl, look it up on YouTube.
All right. That is right. Because if I'm just friends, friends with a woman, like I just like, hey, we're friends. We can spend some time together, but I'm not gonna go out my way. So usually, I guess that's the best way to explain it is when I see guys go out their way for women to help them whatever they want.
Yeah.
Giving them time, resources, money, whatever it is. I think those guys are doing it only for the purpose of something happening, and usually that relies on a relationship or sex.
Should be smart enough to realize that. That's what
I'm
trying to say. You should be grown enough and like intelligent enough to know when someone's being genuine or not. Like I've been.
And I was gonna say that I think as a woman that you always know as much as you want to sit here. Right. Yeah. You always know if a man's going out their way, it's for a reason, because we have guy friends. We all have guy friends, and it's a bare minimum relationship. It's a give and take. We meet up. We talk, and then we don't talk for however long, and then we'll talk again whenever we see each other.
Way of saying it.
You know what I mean? But if it's a person that's constantly interacting with you, it's pretty obvious that this person obviously has some sort of intention. I don't think men do things unintentionally. Yeah. I've never met a man who has never had a reason for doing something. I think men are very practical. Yeah. I think men don't waste their time as much as women do. I think women, we do take emotion and we do take our feelings into effect when we do things. We like, oh my God, I feel bad for him, so let me reply. Yeah. Whereas men are very much like, shit, I want to talk to her. I'm going to talk to her. It's very much that. It's practicality versus emotion. Yeah. In a sense, you know what I mean? And nothing wrong with either one of them. That's just biologically how we are. Mm-hmm. And again, we understand that. So I don't think at any point we're ever like, oh, well, he's just a friend. No, we know. Yeah. We know.
No, we know.
We know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not black and white. Like,
well, the thing, I guess from the men's perspective, because like you ladies, you guys get to choose this, right? You get to choose the men. So the men
Right.
have to pursue you. Most women aren't pursuing men. So the thing is, I'm sure there's a lot of guys, because you guys are all attractive women. I'm sure there's a lot of guys pursuing you, and there's a lot of guys in your friend zone right now, probably in your DM, right? And you guys
Right.
haven't replied to him yet,
Right.
but he's still talking by himself in that DM. Okay. All right. So the thing is, for most guys, we don't, because we know that you have to select us. Most of the guys, we're trying to do the pursuing,
Yeah.
and we're waiting for you to give us that choice to give us the consent to be able to get access to you.
Right.
Right now, the guy, we all know for a fact that the guys who are the most that you guys find the most attractive, you guys give them the most attention.
Yeah.
Right. Right. But the guys at the bottom who are not as attractive as the top tier guys, right? They know you're not gonna get the attention. So what they do is they'll build a friendship with you.
Right.
All right. All right. Because you're only gonna give your attention to the guy that you guys want. But everybody else is gonna be in the friend zone. So like I said, that's why that friendship will start.
Mhm.
And then they'll be friends with you. And when that opportunity comes, if it ever happens, most of those guys, I would argue 99% of those guys, if you give them the opportunity, you tell them, hey, you have a shot now, most of them will step up. I'm like, hey, I'll take advantage of the opportunity.
Right.
Okay. It's honest. Okay. All right. So that was a good topic. Okay.
That was.
Okay, all right, no worries. Thank you so much, everybody in the live chat. Well, I see a lot of new names here tonight. So I see Rude Boy. Hey, what's up, Rude Boy? Rude Boy, don't forget to like, subscribe. I see Subby FPV here on the first time. Thank you so much, everybody on here. All right, so there we finally I can move my thing up. Okay, all right, E-Rock here for the first time. All right, thank you so much, E-Rock here. Thank you so much for being here for the first time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I see Soul Valley Media, Hip Hop Plug Talk. That's the first time I've seen you on here. To the girl in the gray, you have hooked up with one guy for 3 years. Surely you have other side pieces, right? Balafesta said, grown folk conversation don't belong in the vocab. Subby V said, Rude Boy said, sometimes they'll play stupid to see how bad the individual move. And BL17 said, get off your phone. How did you know? Oh, you said your name, Gabby. I was like, how did you know? All right. And Hip Hop Plug Talk, I don't believe you're going to get, okay. All right. So, nevertheless, yeah, don't forget, always let me know what you guys think. I always appreciate you guys always being here and dropping your comments. And don't forget, if you do want a super chat, don't drop a super chat donation and you can be part of the podcast. Okay. All right. So, we just got done talking about the exes. I'm gonna bring up a next topic. It's something I saw like went viral on Twitter. Let me guys what you think on this. You guys have Twitter?
No.
It's called X now.
Oh, X. I forgot.
Yeah, I don't have
Get it right.
Twitter.
With the big
Wait, what is it called?
It's called X. Elon Musk guys changed to X. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm
He's like-
unaware.
Right.
You know, Facebook's called Meta. Twitter's called X.
Oh wow.
I don't have neither.
You know?
No.
I don't have Twitter.
All right. So I saw this video. Oh, I gotta wait for
Regina.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna use
Give it a hop, skip, and a jump. Need some more
Can
Kava.
you give me some more coffee, please?
Heck yeah.
There's no more.
all right. And Hip Hop Plug Talk said the girl in the green should speak more. Okay.
Hey, you're on the green.
Oh, okay.
Say more.
I guess he,
Let them see your nails real quick while we're waiting.
I think
Ooh,
I
got the
don't
full
think they
set.
can see it.
Got the full set.
so he wants her to speak more so that way he can find out how to be friends with her.
He said,
why.
"What do you
Let me
like?
not.
Hikes, Starbucks."
I need more info.
So, what's your name again?
I'm like too much of a debate in here.
Yo,
I'm like,
not a debate. I think honestly, it's been popping off. Good conversation.
Right.
These
All
are
right.
serious topics we need to talk about. Just because it's unrealistic to have expectations that aren't going to be supported by action. Right? That's just a dream.
he said the girl in the green just enjoying the kava.
Man.
All right. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And like I said,
Super chat.
Super chat.
No, super chat.
Drop a super chat, yo.
Yo, first person to drop a super chat, I'm gonna go crazy.
Will, but did you say all those things with your chest? Is what people were saying.
Oh, see with my chest?
Hey,
Oh,
flex it one time, Will.
they gotta pay a super chat for that. Hey,
Y'all see the chain moving?
yeah. But yeah.
What you got on, Will? Is that a paddock?
Nah, it's something I bought a long time ago.
Something like
Some light.
Simple. Nice and simple. Good conversation with different perspectives is always good. Hey, shout out to you, Natasha. We have another reaction video coming up, so let me know what you guys think.
Appreciate y'all.
And then if you guys have a topic that you guys want us to discuss, drop it through a super chat.
Who's out here in the Bay? Yo, give a thumbs up if you're in the Bay. Thumbs up from the Bay. That includes Vallejo, Vacaville, San Francisco, Oakland.
But shout out to everybody in the live chat.
Let's get the Bay Area. Let's go. Thumbs up from the Bay. Thumbs up. We got WFTV.
All right, we got one more. Well, we got two more things to react to. So let me play this video real quick.
The guy with the long hair should make more Kava.
Somebody doesn't know what Kava is.
All right.
Okay, Junebug from the Bay.
So let me play this video. Let me know what you guys think. This went viral on TikTok. Okay.
Where I can joke, I see what's on my mind. If I drink, if I smoke, I keep up with the guys, and you see me holding up my middle finger to the world. Fuck your ribbons and your pearls, cause I'm not just.
Oof. Okay. All right. Oh, Balafessa said he dropped a super chat. Shout out to you, Balafessa.
Hey, super chat.
Say it with your chest, willnacouzi. Yes, sir. What's up, Toko? What's up, Toko? Good to see you. Thank you so much for the super chat all the way from New Zealand, Balafessa. All right, thank you so much, man. All right. But yeah, so I saw this video. I don't know. Obviously, you guys just watched it, but I didn't like this video, by the way. I think there's a terrible video.
Yeah.
One of the things I don't like about modern society, especially today's modern society 2023, is a lot of times a lot of women today with their they'll try to devalue motherhood and devalue being a good wife, a good mother, and raising children. All right. Obviously, you saw that video, right? Right before she was put that wedding ring, all she thought about was the duties and responsibilities that a lot of great moms do every single day for their kids, for their family, for their husband, right? And without those moms, we wouldn't have a great generation of the future, because who raises the future of the generation?
Moms.
The moms, right?
I would differ. Moms and dads.
Yeah, moms and
It
dads.
takes
need to have
both.
the same
It takes both.
responsibility.
Yeah. I would say that majority of the time that spends with the kids would be the mother.
Okay.
So you would have more impact on the development.
Shouldn't be how it is.
Well, I think we have different duties. I think the man's out. If you marry a traditional man that's providing protect you, he's gonna go out there and make sure you guys get that security.
But he should also be focused on spending time with.
I'm
his
not
child.
saying he's not gonna spend time with his kids. When he comes home, he's gonna spend time with the kids. But majority of the time, the kids spend time, especially from
With
infant,
mother.
infant to like 10, they're gonna be with the mom. Right?
Yeah.
And a lot of the things that we saw on that video, a lot of the duties. And shout out to all the moms out there doing the great work. But she was actually devaluing it, right? She was criticizing that derogating that the duties of a mom. So, but what do you guys think? My problem is for a lot of women is what the message they're sending is. I think that's what motherhood and being a wife is. That's part of the responsibility. So if we're making video and content to tell women, hey, that's not what you want, then what they're doing is they're not preparing you for what the reality is of what happens when you go in a traditional relationship. So that I would like to whoever made that video, I would love a guy to make the same video but from the guy's perspective. But when he puts the ring, you see him waking up early every single day, going to work every single day, providing, protecting, all the stuff that we do as men. And imagine if a man made that video and he's like, I don't want that because I don't want to be a man. I don't want that responsibility. I'm gonna give you back that ring.
Right.
Right. It'd be the same thing. So, but let me pass it to you guys. What's your reaction to that video? Do you agree with it? Do you disagree with it?
Definitely disagree. I think that that's completely the wrong outlook on it. I think motherhood and just being a stay-at-home mother is such a important role in our children's lives.
Yeah.
Definitely it's an honor to be able to raise your children, to be able to give them that time and to be able to sacrifice yourself for them and to be able to put the best of humanity out there. And if you have a partner that's able to provide and able to do that for you and still be an amazing father and be able to be a great father figure, even better. I think it's a sacrifice. Obviously, people don't want to sacrifice nowadays, but that's what it is. You're giving yourself the best of yourself for that, to be able to put forth something better than yourself out there.
All right, no worries. Thank you, Gina. I'll pass it to you, Katya. I know Hip Hop Plug Talk is looking for you to speak up a little bit more. But go ahead. What are your thoughts on that video? Do you like it? You don't like it? Agree? Disagree?
I think I disagree as well. I think it's kind of like a part of what life is, what it comes with your marriage. You basically the one that has to do majority of things.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times women do stay at home, so it is kind of like your duty. Not necessarily like it is, but you're there, so why not do it? Like take care of the stuff. So I disagree with the video. I don't think
and for the girl who made that video, I mean, didn't your mom do the same things for you?
Right.
So you're pretty much mocking your own mom, right? So somebody had to raise you.
Right. Somebody raised you. Somebody did that job.
Exactly. Somebody did that job, and it wasn't you. So you're pretty much you're not making fun of women. You're making fun of your own mom.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll pass it to you, Gabby. Gabby, what do you think about that video? Like it? Or you dislike it? Agree or disagree?
I think it's okay to not want that. I think it's completely okay to not want the family life. You can be married and not have children. I think that's 100% okay. She can be happy with or without children, and that's her choice.
Okay. All right. Do you think?
I don't think necessarily her intention of making the video is to jab at working mothers. Obviously, we all work very hard. We all love our children. We do what we need to do for our kids.
Right.
But I don't necessarily think that it's a requirement that you have to have children, that you have to bear children, or when you do get married, that you have to provide a child for your husband. You don't have to have children when you get married. And I know actually a couple people who have been happily married for years and still don't want children.
Yeah.
I think it's realistic, but I don't think that the way she was making the video was more of like, it wasn't in the light that you're trying to paint it out to be.
Yeah.
I think it's more of a personal choice. I think that she shouldn't diminish what mothers do, but I don't think that was her intention. I think that everyone you don't have to be a parent. You don't have to be a mother, and that's completely fine.
I mean, there's always exceptions, right? There's always people that don't want children, but I would argue that majority of people, the purpose of why they get married and want a relationship is they want to have children. If you ask most people, I'm saying there's always that 1%. Okay, there's always that 1%. But majority of people.
But why are we only talking about the 99%?
Because that's the majority.
But that's the majority.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Because
we're only talking about the 99%. Let's talk about the 1%. Like, it's okay to not want that.
Agreed.
Yeah, but it's okay if you want that for yourself, but don't create content that impacts young women to think like that, because they're gonna get an outcome that they don't want.
Mm-hmm. I mean, isn't this content kind of pushing a narrative as well?
So I'll give you a perfect example, right? If you ask most women, right, and I ask you this question, you guys want a strong provider, protector man, right? That's loyal to you, that's committed to you, that wants to be a great husband and want to create a family for you. You guys agree?
Yeah.
Most of you guys want that, right?
Eventually.
Yeah. Eventually, it's yes.
But
right?
you want it, yeah.
You want it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So say if I made a video and I had a big following, and I was like, you know what? Don't be provider protectors. It's okay not to be a provider protector. It's not okay not to be committed to a woman. And I made that video, just same video, right? I'm about to put the ring on, right? And I'm saying, no, I don't want to work. I don't want to provide a protector. That's my duty.
But it's okay to not want that. It's okay to be like, okay, maybe if she doesn't want that, I need to move on and find somebody who does.
What I'm saying is it's okay for yourself in your own life, but when you make content that impacts other people to change their way of thinking, to get the outcome that they don't want down the line, that's when it becomes toxic.
Right. But as I was saying earlier, I don't necessarily want a relationship. The content that you're pushing is saying, okay, most people want this, most people want that. Aren't you doing the same thing?
Say that one more time.
What I'm saying is, like, I was mentioning, like, this is not necessarily what I want. I'm not the 99%. I live a very unethical life, maybe, but I'm realistic. I'm honest. Isn't this you're saying, I'm speaking in the general population. Isn't that the narrative that you're pushing?
I mean, are these because, like I told you guys, are these the behaviors that we want for the future of society?
I just don't think that her not wanting to be a mother is going to make her less than a woman.
It's not. I don't think it's even that. It's like you've seen like That's So Raven, right? Like that's kind of like she was looking into the future. She saw the future and she wanted to change it, right? And it was kind of not that she can't change it, she can't have her own things, but she was saying. I think that video really showed like obligation, right? It was saying that like once I put this ring on, these are my
These are all the
obligations. It was
duties
like
that
I'm
she has to
obligated
do.
to have a
Yeah,
kid.
you
I'm
don't have
obligated
to.
to
You're
clean.
not obligated to do that.
But she made it seem like it wasn't something that's again like that's honorable to do, right? Like it's not like a man.
I don't think
Men.
that was her intention.
Well, that's kind of how the video comes
But,
across, right?
like,
That's my
it gets
interpretation.
It gets
of it.
misperceived.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So-
that's kind of the whole point. It's because like I believe that like if you're going like we'll say if you're going to put out content, right? You want it to be perceived in the way that you want the audience to receive it, right? You want the audience to receive it a certain way. That's obviously for a reason. And she put that content out not necessarily to degrade what those things are, but to make it so that like this is the expectation from a ring, and this is not something that is good in a sense, right? That's kind of why she put that content out there. It's like, oh, I have to do this, and this. I don't want this ring. Yeah, it's like she was interested at first though. She put it on because she was interested in it, but she took it off because when she saw like in that future, you know, whatever the word
I
is,
just
right?
think
Apparition.
I think it's okay if she doesn't want that.
And I agree. It's okay for her not to want it. It's just the way she's like,
And people
making it
put out
perceive that.
content for things that they like to do. We don't necessarily agree with all the content that's being putting out.
Well, that's true.
You know what I mean?
But
I just don't think it should be
But can we agree that not all content is good content?
Right,
Right?
that is true.
All right. So we have to I mean, obviously we've seen content that was like, that's not good content.
Yeah.
That's good quality content. That's the type of content I would want children or the next generation or people to watch. But obviously there's a lot of content out there. And especially we live in an age where kids literally are growing on social media.
Right.
Right. Did you guys were outside? I played outside. But did you guys
Yeah,
play outside?
I played outside.
Okay. So this generation are literally just on the screen
all day
24/7
long.
all day long. Right. So if we agree that majority of women, they want a family and they want a relationship, and the problem with that video for me is the contradiction, because when you choose to become a wife, a lot of the responsibility is what she showed, right? So the thing is, if a young girl sees that, right? Young girl sees that, she's like, and then programs her just like, you don't want to do that. But then she gets in a relationship. Eventually, she'll find a relationship and she finds a good man, and the man's like, okay, that's what I need you to do. But she's like, I don't want that.
Right.
Then she's gonna lose out.
Then he needs to move on.
But I'm saying,
why hyper focus on one single person? You need to move on. If she's not matching your values, you need to move on. And if you continue in that relationship, then that's your problem. That's
but here's the thing: when you those are the values, those are the things that she has to bring in order to keep that man, the good quality man.
Right. And
she's gonna repel the good quality man, and she's never gonna find the man the good quality man that will be the masculine provider and protector.
Exactly. And if it was flipped the other way, like if it was a male reaction to that same video, the expectations would be, well, you should already expect to do these things. You should already expect to be in that situation where you are the provider, you are the protector, you are the leader, you are the one that's going to, at the end make that final say. But it's because, again, you are a man in that situation, right? And in this situation where if it's flipped, again, she's putting on that ring, it's not necessarily, again, like she's obligated to do that. If she has a prior conversation with the person she's with, she's not obligated to do any of that stuff.
No, she's not.
But there is an expectancy, right? To if that's kind of like, hey, what we agreed on, this is kind of the duties that now fall into your hand, right? Especially if it's already had a prior conversation. These are things that, hey, we are going to pursue. Like if you're going to take care of the kids, I'm going to go out there and work, make sure I can give you time to take care of the kids so that you don't have to do both in certain ways. But I think the expectation that she's setting from that video is, hey, like you shouldn't expect these things from it, or these things are kind of a turn off.
At least she's being honest, and we can agree to disagree. But I think that she can live her life how she'd like, and if she wants to make content, because I don't necessarily think that she had the intention of degrading mothers, or I didn't interpret it that way.
Okay,
maybe other people did. I don't think she had that intention. I think it's fair to think that way. To not want that, it's fair. I don't.
I just think that's the danger of the internet nowadays.
Why push one narrative?
And everybody could put whatever they want up there, and anybody could take it the way that they want to. I think it's our responsibility as the next generation to teach the upcoming generation to not take those things so serious, and to everybody have a better mentality than to be driven by what they see on the internet.
Right.
I think
and also be realistic.
Realistic.
Not everybody's perfect.
Yeah. I think one of the, and this is just my opinion, right, of how I see everything is today. I think one of the things that in today's modern culture is we we have this mentality that it's okay for whatever you do in your life. We have this mentality like it's okay, and we become very tolerable to everything, right? And I think for me is like we don't have to tolerate everything, especially
you don't have to tolerate anything. That's what I'm trying to say. You tolerate what you want to tolerate.
No, I know. Okay, no, that's fine. But I'm just saying is for you say that's okay, which is fine, which is your opinion. I've heard a lot of people say, but the thing is for me is if you look at that video and you're being realistic, that video does not benefit any woman that wants a family and wants to be a good wife and wants to attract a good masculine man that wants to provide and protect her. That video does no benefit for her. So the question is, for especially us in the room, we're all going to be the ones who will be the leaders for the future generation, from our families and our future children. Is that the type of content that we want our kids to watch, right? That's like I'll give you a perfect example. If a young boy came up to me, he was like, I want a woman. The same thing. I want a ring. I want to get married to a woman. Okay. But I don't want to do the things that men have to do in order to be a husband. I don't want to wake up every single day and provide for her. I don't want to protect her. All right. I don't want to be accountable. I don't want to be resilient. All right. When somebody breaks into my house and my kid's life in danger, I don't want to be the one to step up and make sure that I protect them. All right. But I want a wife. I'm gonna look at him and like, you're fucking delusional. All right. That's what I'm gonna say to him. All right. If you don't do these things, you're not gonna attract every woman you want. All right. So these are the things you have to do in order to become a man, in order to become strong, to be a provider, protector.
There's not a list of things that you have to do to find the person that you want to be with.
There's clearly a list.
There's not a list.
Talk to the people who are married. They have a list of things.
There's not a list. There's people that I know who are married who were literally just hooking up and they ended up falling in love and they,
how long they're married?
They've been married for 5 years now, over 5 years.
The average marriage in the U.S. is 7 years. So 2 years they'll be divorced.
How do you know that? You can't say that.
Average.
It's average. You can't say that though. You're speaking very black and white. That's not real life.
What I'm saying is
that's not real life. That's like me saying I needed to stay with my ex because we had a child together. That's not realistic.
What was your original statement? There's a list of I don't believe there's a list of things in order for a relationship to work, and that's why I disagree.
It's not. Life is not black and white.
No, what I'm saying, I'm not talking about black and white. I tell you, your original statement was there was a list of things. If you go talk to people who are successful in life, they have a list of things. You can call it traits, you can call it behavior, you can call it habits, you can call it mentality, you can call it goals, you can call it values. There's a list of things that they do consistently every single day towards each other, and that's why it works.
I think over time you do hit marks that are like, okay, this is new. I'm ready to move forward and move a little higher with this person, but there's not necessarily a list of rules.
I mean,
it's not.
I mean, for your job, right, that you do, is there a list of things that you do every single day to be good at your job?
Every day is different for me at my job.
But there's consistent things that you do every single day. It's usually the same. And then it makes you perform good at your job.
I mean, my whole job is to just talk to people all day.
What I'm saying is, but there are lists.
Every day is different. Every conversation I have is different. Every person I meet, I have to adjust in order to meet their needs and meet them where they're at. I have to adjust how I talk to people every single time I know,
but every profession has certain things you do in your profession consistently every single day that makes you good at your job. So obviously there's a way you talk to people, right? I'm sure you're not shouting at those people. Oh, all right. I'm sure there's a way you talk to people, and you learn that skill. And every single time you meet new people, you talk a certain way to them to make sure they feel comfortable, so you can guide them, right? So I'm just talking about there's certain when you say list, there's certain behaviors, habits, mentalities that people do in order to be successful. Yeah. Right. You create and the same for the opposite. People who are broke and unsuccessful. There's a list of things that they don't do. Yeah. And that's why they're broke and unsuccessful. So I'm not saying it's black and white. I just disagree.
I know bums who are millionaires. I'll tell you that right now. I know a bum who is a millionaire.
What does he do?
He's not a bum.
He does marketing, and he actually was a bum until his 30s, and he ended up falling into just being at the right place in the right time, and he's now a millionaire.
Like how?
So, but he does marketing. I don't know exactly for what, but I know when I had met him prior, he was living with his mother, living in his car, had no goals, no values. He still has no goals and no values, but he just has money now.
But he's not a bum, if you ask me.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that's a bum.
I mean, I think a bum is somebody who wastes their time.
I mean, if he's making that much money, he's not wasting his time.
Yeah. Right.
You know? Like that's the thing.
I mean, to me, he's not somebody I would.
Because just from him having a bunch of money.
I don't think money defines you being a bum. I think
I think it does.
mindset defines you being a bum.
Maybe
If
you
you have a
started off as a
bummy
bum.
mindset, you're not even going to be considered.
I can agree with you on that, but I don't think a bum can be a millionaire. I don't think
Right.
anyone who's a millionaire can be a
I
bum.
think you can be at the right place in the right time and fall
Oh,
into
yeah.
money.
Exceptions.
Yeah.
The exceptions. We have
Yeah.
to talk about exceptions.
We keep talking about exceptions though.
Like I just don't think like if a bum is someone, right, that like I would consider like is
A bum is someone you
lower-
could be a millionaire and you could not take care of your child. You're a bum to me. If you don't take care of your children, you're a bum to me. You can make $1 million a day.
I mean,
you're still a bum to me.
I mean, bum father, but not bum as far as
Yeah, but not
No,
bum as
you're
a
still
person.
a bum to me, regardless.
Yeah.
Bum mentality. You don't take care of your kids. You don't make the effort to see your kids. You're a bum to me, 100%. I don't
Yeah.
care how much money you make.
I think that's positioning again in fatherhood, right? But like as a person, right? We're talking just their individual life excluded from other person's life. Just them having money.
They're a bum to me.
Okay, that's
Okay,
understandable.
fine.
But
They're a bum
but
to me.
usually I would say like a bum would not be able to have access to a lot of people and a lot of potential mates in the future, right? I don't think a bum has access to that. And I think anyone who's a millionaire has
I know
access not
so
only
many
to like
bums who get many women. Yeah, I do.
I mean I think that's a disconnect,
I'm
right?
not-
Because
I'm not
I
a-
can't.
It's 2023. Everybody's having sex, so there's no standards. It is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have. You can be like. This is the best time for bums, honestly. If you're a bum right now, this is the best. They're
I hope
having.
you're watching.
They're having. They're
hope
having
you're
fun
watching.
right now. They're enjoying it because women do not have high standards no more, put any expectation for them, so they can just be bums and still get sex.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah,
it's
they
great.
can.
It's a great
That's what I'm
time.
saying.
Yeah, that's why I don't disagree with you. Yeah, with the bum thing.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
you could be a bum to me and make millions of dollars. I don't care what anybody says. Like regardless.
Okay. No. Okay. No worries. All right. Katya, do you know anything you want to add on?
No.
Yeah. All right. No worries. All right. So we got one more. Shout out to everybody in the live chat.
Let's go.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody in the live chat. I appreciate you guys will always be on here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay. Like, subscribe. All right. Appreciate you guys. And shout out to the panel.
Let's go.
Hey, we're going hard
Shout out to
tonight.
y'all.
Yeah, shout out to y'all.
Shout out to
Gabby,
y'all.
Katya, Gina.
Vibrant.
All right, Danny. All right, like I said, we're having some real conversations right now. So that's what the Kava podcast is all about. Like we just have an open conversation, whether we agree or disagree, but we can have a conversation and talk about it.
All
All right. But I have one more thing I want to bring up, and this went viral on Twitter. Okay, I don't know if you guys are aware of Just Pearly Things on online.
The what?
That's her name, Just Pearly Things.
No, that's her handle.
No.
Yeah, that's her handle. All right, so let me play this real quick.
Is she really well known for you to be?
No clue.
Yeah. I've never heard of it.
I
That's what
said
I'm
just
asking.
probably things. I know.
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
That was the
Okay.
story.
Let's share screen. Oh, give me 1 second, y'all. Let me just share my screen. Window and tap screen. Okay. And then
Nice.
there it is.
I've seen.
All right, so she made this tweet, and it went viral. Everybody was talking about it. She said that women that don't take your last name don't like you that much. I hate to break it to you.
Oh my.
She would have taken She would have taken the name of her first choice. Okay.
I know who that lady is.
All right.
That girl is. Honestly,
All right. So let me end this.
she makes good videos.
Wow.
Good
Does she?
content. Yeah, she's
Wait,
good content.
who is she?
She's
She makes content about dating and relationships.
Yeah, she makes relationship dating in 2023.
Okay.
She's very.
So let me ask you this question, all right? So obviously, I know. Most women I know that have taken the name of their husband, but we live in modern times. Like I told you before, we're more open than ever. There are some women, a small percentage of women, that they don't take the man's first name. All right. At the end of the day, what are you guys' thoughts about that? Because as a man, for me, like you're taking my first name. If I'm going to provide, protect, I'm going to die for you.
I'm taking a bullet for you.
If I'm gonna die for you, my last name is surviving. My last name is surviving.
Yeah.
Okay. When I'm gonna take that bullet, but my last name is surviving with my kids and the next generation. So that's just my mentality as a man. And then, like I said, if you don't want to take my name, that's fine. But this is what I believe. If you're that type of, if you're a good man and you're a woman and you treat your woman right and she really respects you, she wants that last name, right? But I don't know. We live in a different time right now, so obviously. That conversation, that Twitter feed.
I need some
more of that too.
That's Twitter feed.
Oh, Danny, go first.
You go first.
You haven't talked.
So Danny, I know you're in a relationship for 5 years.
How do I feel about
If
this?
she says I don't want to take the Great White last name, what do you think? I already know she's gonna take it, but I already know she's
The funny part is I've actually had this conversation before about last names. I'm sorry, you didn't fill me up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
About
hanging.
please, sir. A little more.
All right.
A little more.
Yeah.
Please, sir.
How dare you? I got you.
Thank you. I've had this conversation before about last names, really about changing your last name, right? Taking that person to family. I believe that when you take the last name of your significant other, which is usually female to male, that the female should always take the last name of the male because the female is now becoming a part of that male's family, right? And not that the male is not becoming part of the female's family, but just kind of like traditional men in the past, when a female kind of branches out from the family and when the father is vetting that dude, he understands the reason why he is vetting that person is because he is giving his daughter away to another family, right? And so I'm a big person that believes that any female who is going to marry a guy should take the last name of the guy. And I believe that if they don't, just kind of like that post said, that female, not that they don't respect you, is that they do not have a comfort level with you to the point where they believe that you are the leader of that family, or they are not part of your family, right? I believe because you're taking that last name, again, you are becoming part of that family. Like my last name is White. People call me the Great White.
The Great White.
You are part of the Great White's family, right? And that's just how it is. That's kind of how my view is on it. I believe that if you're going to, in a certain way, I don't want to say submit to that person, but if you're going to become part of their family, you have to take a certain role in that family. And it's, hey, now that you have my last name, you are a complete member of my family. I think if it's the other way around, and again, there's a lot of people to this day currently who don't take the last name of their significant other, and they still have their same names where they were dating as, first year to when they're married, and they have their same names, and their relationship is perfectly fine, right? They have no problems with that relationship. But I do believe in my traditional way. I believe that if you have values that I have to show in a relationship, and I have things that I have to do in a relationship that I believe are kind of held to a pedestal or expectation, I believe one of the expectations is that the female should take the last name of that man, because that honestly will show that not only do they honor you, but they respect you and they want to become part of your family.
When you have a son, his middle name should be The Great.
Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking. The Great.
The Great. What? All right.
With the D.
Yeah, the Great. I like that.
DA, great.
Like One Piece.
Right.
Monkey D. Luffy. All right. I'll pass it to you, Gina. What are your thoughts about women not wanting to take their man's last name?
I think it's everybody's choice, but I do agree with Danny that it is an honor to be able to take your husband's last name and to be able to pass on that lineage. I think that traditionally that's what it is. You're passing on that lineage, you're continuing that name. So for me, that's that's it.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Katya, hip hop plug talks waiting for you. Okay. All right, Katya, you're gonna take. What are your thoughts about taking the last name?
I think it's everybody's choice, and like they said, like Danny and Gina said, it's something that you should do. Like if you're getting married to that person, then it's like something that you are entering to their family. Like you're creating your family with them. So I feel like that's something that like the way it should go.
You're taking their last name?
I might. No, I was kidding.
I know it's different too. In like a lot of Hispanic cultures, they have both their last names.
Right.
They'll have like your own last name coupled with
so it'll be like your maiden last name, whatever. So you became, in a sense, it's like you're kind of becoming like property if you want to look at it that way. But I mean, personally, I don't look at it that way. Like my mom, because that is, that's what it's saying. De in Spanish is of. of whatever last name you take,
yeah.
you're taking on. So it does have that sense of like you're becoming property, but I don't think it's necessarily that. I think you're just becoming part of that family.
Yeah.
I used to hate that when we did door-to-door sales. When I go to TPV, I have customer Maria Jesus Sanchez. Like,
Gutierrez de la Luz.
He had like 4, 5, 6 last names. Like, damn. I was like, no, that wasn't the. I still had 3 more to tell you. I remember back in the door-to-door days.
Yeah, I mean that's just a huge Hispanic thing. You keep your maiden name, but at the same time you still carry on that name, so you become of that person. Like my mom is first name Navas de Gonzalez, whereas I'm Gonzalez Navas. You know what I mean?
When you have the multiple last names, is the father's name the first one or the mother's?
The first
name?
one,
yeah, the father, and then
it's the first one, and then the maiden name.
Anything extra?
No.
So you don't lose
after.
You don't. Yeah, you don't lose your mom's name because it's so. And that's I think that's the honorable thing, that you still keep both names, but you're paying tribute for the fact that you're adding on to this family.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. No worries. Thank you, Katya. Gabby, you taking on your man's last name?
Me personally, yes. Me personally, when I'm ready to commit and when I have a man, I will be taking his last name, but I also don't think it's a requirement. Like I believe in everybody should be happy with whatever they want to do. That's truly my belief.
Okay.
I don't think it's anyone else's business, really.
No worries. Okay. So,
but personally, me, I will be taking my husband's last name. But I have a friend who's like very happily married, and they connected, and their both last names are hyphenated. So
yeah, it's
they're
hyphenated.
they're very happy.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, do you know any women that did not take their husband's last name?
I don't.
No.
I don't.
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah. Must be the second, third choice.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, she's very happy. So
I just look. I mean, I know there's always exceptions, right? But I
think there's just strong opinions here.
Yeah, I just believe, like I said, I'm very big on biology, but I just think when the masculine meets the feminine, and they're both in their roles and they both love each other and committed to each other, when women are in the feminine, because like women will naturally submit. If the man is acting right, he's earned her submission. He's worked to make sure that he can provide that trust. I think it's just a feminine core with a woman. When you meet a good man that's proven to you that he's a good man, is committed to you, you're naturally just gonna submit to him, and then you're willing to take his last name. Maybe there are rare cases, but I'd see some truth in that tweet. That if a woman doesn't want to take your last name, I would tell that guy, is like, yo, you got a lot of things you need to work on.
Yeah,
because clearly,
I mean, why get married? If you didn't want to be with that person.
Yeah.
Well,
truthfully.
Everybody has needs. Nobody wants to be alone, so people will settle.
Right.
So if that's the second and third option, it's like, oh, I can't get my first option. I can't get my preferred last name, but I'll have to go with this guy. But damn sure I'm not taking his name. All right. So
well, I've seen the argument too of like women that are becoming doctorate in their profession, and they're like, well, I worked my ass off for this to be able to put my name on this doctorate,
and they're not
type of thing. And I seen this on I seen it on Instagram. It was like that. Like, I worked hard to be a doctorate, so who are you to come and change that name?
But didn't that man work hard to be the man in your life of a doctor?
Well, and that's the argument. You know what I mean?
Let me explain to you why men are very adamant, especially masculine men. I'm talking about the weak feminine men out there. They got no backbone. The simps. I'm not talking about the simps. All right. I'm talking about masculine men who have values, principles that they're willing to die for. Yeah. The reason why most men don't want their last name to be taken, because we understand as men, especially if you're taking that duty and responsibility to be a provider, protector, we understand that we are the sacrificial sex. When shit goes down, we're willing to put our life on the line. If I want to die tonight, at least I have the comfortability knowing my name's gonna pass. I promise you, that doctor, right? That doctor that worked her ass off. If Russia invaded tomorrow, she won't be in the front lines. All right, it'll be me, Danny, and everybody, strong masculine men out there. Right? Even though she has a degree, but she's not gonna go to the front lines and fight Russia when they invade. So that's why men, we especially masculine men, we understand that that's our role and duty, the responsibility to the world, to the community. That when shit happens, we have to step up and make sure we protect and provide for a woman so we can survive as a species, because we don't want all the women to die and the children to die, because what's going to be the future generation? Let me go out and fight and die. At least my wife and my children are alive. At least they can continue on the species. And also continue on my last name.
Right.
But if you're not going to continue my last name, why would I go and die for you?
Get the fuck out of here.
Exactly.
Get the fuck up out of here.
Right? So that's just the mentality of men, because we know when shit goes down, even if we're both doctors, most people like the men have to go fight.
Yeah.
And we have to go down. And men should fight. I'm not saying there's no option. You go fight and protect the people you love and care about. Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Okay. All right. So those that was the last names. And hey, I mean, do you guys is there certain names or like you guys ever come across a guy that was a weird last name? Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're like kind of like, do I really want that last name?
His last name was Chorro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and
what does that mean in Spanish?
it means diarrhea.
Oh, okay.
I met a Dinkleberry.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, a
That's tough.
Dinkleberry.
Was he white?
No.
Oh.
No. Yeah, that was the interesting part about
Dingleberry?
it. Dinkleberry. Dinkleberry.
Yeah. Berry in his dinkle.
Yeah. Which was an interesting one.
Oh god.
Yeah.
All right, Tinkleberry. Okay, and total. Okay. All right. Okay. So, ladies, we have a couple minutes left before we conclude. And shout out to everybody on the live chat.
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go, y'all.
Mrs. Cholo.
Mrs. Cholo. Damn. All right. But yeah, for this last couple minutes, I just and don't forget, guys, thank you so much for watching this entire
Miss
stream.
Dingleberry is wild.
All right. You guys are going crazy right now on the wild chats, on the live chat. All right? Damn. Everybody on the live chats, they're coming for us because they're locked and loaded tonight. All right. All right. So, but I do want to spend the last part of the stream. I do want to spend it with you guys. Obviously, we talked about the topics that I brought up tonight, and we talked about things we kind of went. Talk about other things as well, and also we reacted to these videos. But
we appreciate you, Gabby.
What?
They said we appreciate you, Gabby.
Shoot your shot, Junebug.
He's trying to look.
Junebug, you're not tall enough for me.
That's that Junebug. That's that friend energy I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. All right, they're not gonna say it directly, so they're gonna use that. Oh yeah, we appreciate you.
Yeah,
man.
we appreciate
We
you.
appreciate you. As friends.
I know y'all are just trying to fuck me, okay? I can see right through you. Will.
All right, so but ladies, I do appreciate you guys.
God.
Cheers.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. Appreciate you, ladies. But I do want to spend the last part of the stream and talk about the topics. I'm sure you guys have topics. I know you guys have that text message thread with your girls, and you guys always talk about the fellas. I'm sure there's a topic that goes around. That's when I ask you guys anything that you guys want to bring up, and we can discuss that at the end. Don't hold back now. Don't hold back now.
Katya.
And we go. Hey, God, since Katya hasn't spoken a lot, let's start with Katya.
Why me?
Talk about
Katya, what's a topic? What, things you see,
recent.
something recent that you see all the time.
That I see all the time.
Yeah. Why men ain't whatever it is.
Toxic.
What about toxic?
Oh.
A lot of men are toxic, just like females as well, not just men. Just in general, a lot of relationships are really toxic.
Well, can
Like-
you elaborate more? Like,
Are you speaking from recent relationships?
Maybe.
did you used to knock door down?
No, I'm not answering that question.
All right.
In case he's watching, because he might be.
I didn't say that. But no, a lot of men or females.
I mean, what was the main problem? Why that relationship didn't work?
It was more like manipulating or like kind of like
He was playing games.
controlling.
Oh, controlling. Like how?
Like as in you're with me and you're gonna do like basically you're only allowed to see me, not anybody else. Like outside, like not even your friends. Like basically they want to exclude you and just
okay. So
you,
he
like,
wanted
Possession.
yeah.
so he wanted exclusivity, but did he put a commitment? Did he make a commitment to you?
He did, like he wanted to commit everything. He wanted to do like everything.
Like I'm
with
saying,
me.
like did he say you're my girlfriend?
Yes.
I'm your boyfriend.
Yes.
And but he just didn't want you to talk to certain people.
Nobody.
No, yeah, like basically,
Nobody at all.
Nobody.
Yeah, like I was like basically like
Not a
just
soul.
trapped.
Jeez.
Girls,
So-
boys, kids, all excluded.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What about
everybody.
parents? You know.
That's
No,
weird. That's really weird.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that is kind of extreme.
It is. It's like that's like when people are like not mentally
No, they're obvious. They have
just
their own
like
insecurities.
like they're very very insecure. Because I'm like not in the live chat right here, but I'm very talkative.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
and he takes that as
and-
like, oh, you're
Yeah,
flirting
like,
with everyone.
mhm.
No, I get. Yeah, that's totally
yeah.
not okay.
So it's like
Trust issues.
yeah, a lot of
Right.
people have
You shouldn't
a lot
be
of
with
trust
somebody if you
issues.
have trust. If you don't trust,
and
them.
especially like if you're not like a person that basically like if you're a person that's well
You
spoken
having
out there
yeah,
and
yeah.
that person just kind of like shuts you down,
Yeah.
which I feel
So the
like
question is, why do you think men do that? Why do
Yeah,
you think
like,
men like basically?
why do they feel like so insecure, like
Yeah.
so like over protecting or over
Why do men do that?
yeah.
Well, obviously, of course, depends on the man. But I think for the majority of men that do that, it's because they're jealous in a certain way. Kind of like we talked about before the podcast started, right?
Mhm.
I think jealousy kind of brings a man to looking at his insecurities face on, right? Especially when you're with someone. So if you don't feel that you can measure up to that person's expectations, you're going to feel like anytime that person's talking to someone else, they're covering the needs that you don't provide, right?
It's
And
just
so-
like you shouldn't be in a relationship if you have so many issues that you haven't dealt with.
Exactly.
Right.
And like again, in every relationship, like I said, there's your relationship with yourself and your relationship with that person, and then their own relationship. Right. If your
Mhm.
relationship with yourself isn't
Isn't-
complete, isn't at least to the point where you're able to involve another person in your life, you shouldn't be with that person, or you shouldn't be in a relationship with any other person. But in general, that's usually driven just because of jealousy, right? It's because that person, not that they're territorial, but they don't know what else to do to guarantee that those insecurities won't come to light, right?
Mhm.
They don't know what else to do. Again, like someone thinks that they're afraid of you cheating, they're going to make sure that you don't do anything to
Right.
guarantee
I
you
think
don't
that
cheat.
I think that would make me want to cheat more. If you're
You
up
know?
my ass 100% of my time and like you're bothering me, like
Oh yeah, 'cause it's-
people are gonna cheat if they want to cheat.
exactly. People do
You
what they
can do
want to
anything.
do.
Exactly. That's why I don't have any expectations. When I know someone is serious about me, I know, and I'll act accordingly.
Yeah. No, and seriously, like I think that's more a way everyone should act, right? They should act accordingly. But
Yeah.
sad truth is no one really does act accordingly. And most of the time people get in situations with people because they believe that that person is feeling their emotional obligation that they need at the
Mhm.
time. And they're not looking into other things, right? And I think I've known you for a while, Katia, right? And so I obviously know most of the relationships you've been in. And I just know the type of person you are when you're not in a relationship, and I know the type of person you are when you're in a relationship, especially when in a relationship with someone that is not the best for you, I would say. Right? Not that that person isn't good for you, or I believe that sometimes there's lessons you need to learn in life, right? And that person can help bring you
There you
over
go.
a hump, right? Or
Yeah.
bring you to a conclusion, something in your head that you come, wow, like it's almost like a moment of realization that I need to do this, this, and this instead of doing this, and that, right?
Right.
And so I think there's obviously people in your life that are meant to teach you things, but I do believe that like we have an obligation to ourselves to place ourselves in the best situation possible, because there are, I think, more people than less people that will go out there and deceive you because of their own insecurities.
Exactly.
Right. I think there's majority of people will try to deceive you because of their insecurities, because they don't know how to deal with insecurities. And
Yes.
it's because, of course, mental health is really big in our generation, right? A lot of people need help with mental health. We don't have that. And because of that, no one likes to be alone. Everyone heard the expression, misery loves company.
Right.
Like, everybody loves the pity party. Nobody likes to be pitiful by themselves.
Right.
And so
But
Hey,
that's why I truly believe I don't want to be with someone unless I know I'm ready. Because if I'm not ready, I'm not going to provide you the best that I can be.
Yeah.
Then that's just being like real. Like
Yeah.
if I'm not ready, I can't be the best that I can be for you. I can't be the best that I can be for me. There's no way that this relationship is going to be positive.
yeah,
Right.
no, exactly.
So that's why, like, if I'm going to be in a committed relationship, I'm not going to cheat because I know that that's the man that I want to be with for my life. The next man that I date will be the man that I marry. And I am committed to myself and to him, I'm not going to cheat because I'm committing myself to you. I'm not playing games anymore.
Yeah.
But until I find that man, I'm not going to be deceiving people. I'm not going to be lying. I'm not going to be cheating. You're going to know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. And you can take it or leave it.
And
but at least I'm being honest.
I think that's the best way because, again, like this generation, there's a lot of toxic people, right? Like you guys, the one phrase you guys said in the beginning, the dating world is muddy waters, right?
Right.
I wouldn't know for the last 5 years, but I can see like just from like my friends that I have that are kind of dating still, it's different, right? It's definitely different for a lot of people. And so we have to make sure that we're clearing those muddy waters and getting what we really want. And by kind of what we started from the beginning, having expectations, having things that you know that have to be fit, have bars that have to be met, you know.
Can I ask you a question, Danny?
Of course.
Because you're the example about he's very extreme and making sure he doesn't want you to talk to anybody, right? And I agree with that. I think that is very extreme. But I do understand the argument a lot of these guys on the live chat, you know, men have certain boundaries. I want to ask you, like, are there certain boundaries of the as far as like your boundaries of what you wouldn't accept your woman being a certain types around certain people?
100%. Like,
I mean, we just talked about one boundary about friends with exes, right? So obviously, that's a
no.
That's a no, right? If you're friends with the ex, we can't do this.
Right.
But there's other things men look into it as well. But I just want to ask, like, for you personally,
100%. Like one of my boundaries that it's different per person, right? But one of my personal boundaries is if you're not already friends with someone of the opposite sex, I don't think you should be becoming friends with that
making
person.
new friends,
making a new friend of
male
someone
friends.
with the opposite sex,
Oh,
right?
okay.
Especially when you're in a committed relationship. I don't think there's any need for it because I think, again, just like men can be construction workers, women can be construction workers. You can have a female doctor, you can have a male doctor, right? If it's business, I get it, but we can preferably understand that like you don't need to add additional contacts in your life that are of the opposite sex that you would find, of course, attractive. Because when there is a chance, usually men are going to take it, right? And I think that's any case, right? If there's a chance, right, I don't like there to be chance, opportunity. And it's not saying that it's controlling or anything like that. It's saying, hey, like,
that's your boundary.
That's my boundary, right? And if we can't respect my boundary in that case, then this is just not a relationship that we can be in. That's where I feel comfortable at. And again, I can draw the line. Like, again, if you've had friends in the past before, and I've come into your life and you've already had those friends, there's no reason for me to say that friend can't be in your life, right? But of course, I have to understand the dynamic between you two. I have to understand the exact details, right? I need to spend time, right? Because it's not about not necessarily feeling okay. It's about not knowing enough details for me to feel okay, right? Not knowing enough about that person for me to feel okay.
Yeah, letting your mind wander is what kind of influence everything.
And I don't do that, right? Because anxiety is a killer, right?
Right.
You don't want to be killed by stress, right? Stress is going to kill you in general. And so you want to make sure that, like, at least personally for me in my situation, I like to make sure that if there's any extra friends, one of my boundaries is you can't have newer friends unless like that are of the opposite sex, unless we meet them again together conditionally and like their friends just happen to be a group friend.
That's fair.
You know,
right?
I don't think you should be having any extra friends that are of the opposite gender that are newer, unless again, like there was a situation, maybe you had worked with that person and you just happen to grow a work relationship with that person.
That's acquaintance.
That's an acquaintance again.
Not a
But
friend.
a friend is someone that you would go out of your way to call, text. You would go out of your way to spend time with because you are invested in that person, right? And you guys are my friends for a while now, and the reason why I'm invested into you is because we've been invested for a while. We've gone back and forth doing things together, right? We hang out, we have a good time, but it's just like at the end of the day, like I'm not going to go out of my way more than what I do to spend time with you, right? And I don't want there to be any confusion between that. I'm not going to go out of my way for anything, and I don't think the same thing. If you're building a new relationship with someone,
I
friend,
think any true adult who's looking for a real relationship will understand that already.
Oh, yeah.
That's not something that you would have to explain.
yeah, and that's kind of, I guess, like you said, that's one of my boundaries, right? But I don't think that's even like a severe boundary to have. I think that's just something that subconsciously I can sleep at night a little bit better. You know, I could be like, oh, this is nice to know.
And that's fair. I think that goes both ways. You know what I mean? Like, obviously when you enter a committed relationship, you're gonna get to know your partner's friendships and family and the people that like coincide with them with you know outside of you. And it has to be a respected thing where you understand it. Obviously, I think as a woman, you can know when a woman is trying to get at your man. You know, that's a very known 100%. Thing. It's women's intuition is like 100% always.
99.9%.
You know, you you can't question that. You as a woman, you know when a woman wants your man. You know it. You know somebody's intentions regardless. You know, I've been in relationships where I know where a friendship is just a friendship, and you respect it.
Yeah.
And you respect it and you understand that your man is your man and you're going to respect your man because you know that's your man. But, you know, but then comes a woman that she's looking at your man some type of way, too touchy, too close, to this, too giggly, anything. I mean, anything. And you're kind of like, all right, you're not just friends. Your intentions aren't friends. My man could be a friend to you, but you're not a friend to my man type of thing. You know what I mean? So it's very much that. And I think a man could do the same thing. As men, you know, when a man is more than just, you know, it goes. It goes both ways. So I think like you hit it on the nail. When you're two adults that understand that, you'll respect it. But shit, territory is territory, and you're gonna let it be known.
And I'm not saying you can't interact with other people because I believe like, hey, you go into a pizza shop, you got to talk to a guy. You got to talk to a guy.
Right. You got to do it. You got to do it.
Just pass
past you talking to that guy, you know, there should be nothing else a conversation about that. There should be no, oh yeah, we ended up getting pizza together later, you know.
See that, that's going a whole other mile that I didn't need to go.
My man will not be doing that.
You know, and so it's like
facts.
It's like
but
there's
like
no need.
it's like once you find that person, you know, you trust that they're not going to do that. You already, you know what I mean? Like once I know.
If you have that, of course, that expectation, right? Because some people, again, it depends on your type of relationship. If that's not your type of expectation, that's not what you're expecting to have. Some people are like, hey, well, you should have made that more clear, right? And a lot of people aren't very clear about what they want. And I think a biggest portion to having a committed and successful relationship is being clear with the other person, right? Just has to be clear. Like if you want something to be painted pink, then tell me it's painted pink, right? Don't just hand me the blue paint and it's like, oh, I thought you should have known I wanted the pink. Oh, you handed me the blue paint. I just wanted you to put it into the corner. You're like, okay, but I don't know. I just think every relationship's different, right? But anything can be worked and gotten through as long as you have the correct expectations and the correct boundaries that are set prior, or even I shouldn't say prior, that are set during the relationship, right? Because some things will come up without not even knowing, right? You might have something that it was so situational that you didn't think to bring up, right? But that situation can lead to that future situations. You don't have to worry about it coming up again, right? I don't believe in repeating things, right? If it happens first time, it could be a mistake. If it happens again, there's a problem. There's a problem, right? It's either there was a disconnect either with the communication that we had, or there's a disconnect and you understanding it was a problem or not.
Right. And I think you hit it on the spot. It's communication and understanding. You need to have both to be able to kind of get through it. You know, you're not going to always have all the conversations that you need to have from the fucking jump.
Exactly.
Shit's going to come up within the years, within the months, within whatever, you know, how do marriages go on 30, 40, 50 plus years is you have those communications, you have those understanding moments, and whether they're hard, easy, or whatever, you get through them because you're both on the same page.
You have to be.
All right, facts. All right, thank you so much. All right. I think for me, just to add on to what Danny said, I think a lot of women don't want to hear this, but for me, one of the things I look for as far as my boundaries is the type of friends that she's with. All right, because for me, I'm all about alignment with goals and values. And a lot of times I see this modern society, there'll be a woman that she finally finds a good man, but all her friends are single. And they've all had bad relationships with bad men.
Right.
And she doesn't have any relationships with good, strong women that she could take example for that from solid relationships.
Right.
And a lot of times those women will sabotage her own relationship.
Yes.
And I've seen this multiple times. So
wow.
I've seen this for real. Oh, you know, because they had bad relationships with men when she finally meets a good man, and he hasn't shown any kind of sign that he's gonna do anything bad to her, but because of their bad experiences, they'll convince her, I don't trust him. I've seen it happen. They'll let that good man go, and then she lost an opportunity.
Right.
So I think there's something you have to be aware of. Like you should have a good circle of friends that can support one another and have the great examples towards each other.
Right.
But nevertheless, we have come to the end Thank you so much, everybody. Shout out to everybody.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go. We've come to the end, and we made it.
We made it.
We went hard tonight. We had different discussions, different conversations tonight, different topics. Appreciate you guys, and yeah, don't forget. Appreciate you guys watching this right now. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Always appreciate the love. Before I pass to the panel, get their final thoughts real quick. Don't forget, we do this in the Bay Area. This is based out of San Francisco, so I know a lot of you guys, a lot of ladies out there in the Bay Area. If you want to be part of this podcast and you guys want to jump on and be part of the panel, have the same kind of discussions, whether you agree or disagree, I'm willing to open up for you guys and come on and be part of the discussion. So let me pass it back to the panel. Shout out to the panel real quick.
Let's go, panel.
Let's go, panel.
A little,
all right.
A little panel. A little round of applause, panel.
Clap it up.
Let's go.
All right. But yeah, like I said, ladies, remember, regardless of what happened, our discussions tonight, even if we disagree at the end of the day, no love is lost. I appreciate you making the time to be on here. So thank you so much. All right.
Sure.
But yeah, what's your final thoughts from tonight's discussion? How can people find your social media? Because there's a lot of simps on this. A lot of simps on this live chat.
They're all your handles.
They're talking to you. They're like, I like the one in the green.
Green was popping.
Her Instagram is
a lot of simps on this live chat, and a lot of guys that want only to be friends with you guys tonight. But they want to find you, and there's genuinely people out there that want to support you. They want to support you. And maybe your potential future mate, maybe on this live chat. I don't know. I don't know.
She said no.
None
of y'all.
Y'all don't like the truth, and I don't like that.
But nevertheless, yeah, what's your final thoughts? How can people find you? And I'll start with you, Gabby. All right, Gabby, final thoughts from tonight's discussion. Thank you so much for coming.
I think
and how can people find you?
A great open discussion, and I think everyone voiced their opinions, and it was a great time. I had a great time with you guys.
Same. Thank you.
Thank you so much, yeah, Gabby. And how can people find you?
Oh, you want to find me on Instagram? It's XOTICHONEY_.
Okay. All right.
I make food content, so y'all better like and follow by.
I know Junebug said I want to be Gabby's friend. Okay. All right, Junebug, do your thing. All right. I'll pass it to you, Gatia. All right.
It was actually a good conversation. I'm like just hearing y'all. I didn't really speak too much today, but it was good hearing everyone's thoughts, and we just made a new friend, I guess, today.
Yeah, we did.
All right.
And it was great seeing everybody today.
Yeah,
as
good
well.
to see you, Gatia. We go way back.
Right.
All right. Batch number 1's right.
Don't bring out the bad.
The insiders know.
How can people find you, Gatia?
You guys can find me on Instagram as Katia Gonzalez _33, or actually 33 _. I don't even know my Instagram.
All right. Thank you so much. Katia. There was a lot of talk about. I saw the word green on this multiple times. Green.
Yeah, no, they really liked you, bro.
I'm tired. I'm not drunk. I'm tired. Okay, guys.
All right. No worries. Thank you so much, Katia. Pass to you, Gina. Gina, thank you for making time to be part of this. Final thoughts, and how can people find you?
Just thank you so much to all of you guys. This was a really cool conversation. First podcast ever, so this was really fun. And you guys could find me at Instagram at Gina Patrigon Navas. You guys can figure out how to spell that. Yeah.
For men, when there's a will, they'll find a way.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Say it once, they're like, I'm already on it.
Right. They're already typing it.
All right. And thank you so much, Gina. And of course, the great white himself.
Yeah.
Final thoughts and how can people find you?
Final thoughts, guys, is, obviously great talk, everybody. I love having conversations. I love debating. That's what I call it. I don't call it arguing. It's always debating, right? Because we're just voicing our opinions and we're voicing the truth that we have inside to each other. But I think it was amazing. I'd love to obviously have a conversation with everyone again. You guys can find me on Instagram. I don't know my Instagram, so if you know me, find me. If you don't, too bad. But yeah, and
spoken like a man in a relationship. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, bro. All right. Thank you, Danny. I have to say this. We gotta do a part 2 on this.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%.
Part 2.
I'm vibing with you guys. I'm vibing.
Yeah, I feel like we all like.
Yeah,
vibe
connected.
pretty well. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know about vibe, but we did good. I don't do that
Great
vibe
conversation.
He said, "We're crystals."
What's that horoscope? Oh, hell.
Yeah, the horoscope. I don't know what mine is.
I'm an Aquarius, if y'all were wondering.
Oh yeah, you guys know what you are?
I'm a Leo.
I'm a Taurus.
Oh, I love Taurus.
You know, one of my biggest pet peeves when people are like, the reason why I behave this way is because
of your
because I'm a
this.
I'm a this. No, you're just a fucking bad person. That's why. You're just a toxic. You're a toxic person. It has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with the stars. Okay. All right. Nevertheless, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, drop a super chat.
Drop a super chat. Somebody do it. Somebody drop a super chat before we go.
And yeah, all the haters out there, yeah, you're not that guy. Okay. All right. I see you guys. Don't forget, we do this every single Saturday after dark, modern dating relationships. But don't forget to tune in. If you we do other shows throughout the week on Wednesdays, Hot Topic Wednesdays. We do invite a panel of men and women, and we discuss hot topics. On Thursday is Masculine Mind. We focus on self-improvement, purpose, and masculinity for men to teach women how to be strong masculine men, to provide a protector, husbands and fathers for their kids and their children. On Fridays, Pacific Islanders, you guys already know, I'm Tongan. So, of course, we bring up a panel of Pacific Islanders and we talk about different subjects regarding the community. So, if you enjoyed this conversation, great. Modern dating relationships is for you. Masculine Mind, for all the young men out there, if you're looking for purpose and value and principle system, how to become masculine, definitely jump on Thursdays. And then on Wednesdays, if you just want to see people argue and debate each other, Wednesdays is the topic for you. Okay.
100%.
All right.
Don't be a beta, guys.
All right. I know. Exactly. I see a lot of betas commenting right now. But they're the ones watching this right now. So you guys, exactly. All right. You're on my channel. Yeah. But nevertheless, look at the one thing I'm gonna leave for this podcast. Don't forget, for all the ladies out there in the modern dating casual relationships, the 3 qualities, right? I'm telling you, accountability, resiliency, and discipline. Use those 3 qualities, and you guys be able to find any good man out there. So that way you can find that good man and start a good family. But nevertheless, peace, y'all. See you guys next time, next Saturday.
Go.
Peace.
Next week.
Peace. Shut.